So, a loose start here. Beginning of session 11 of the Call of the Netherdeep with this specific group. Before we get into that full recap, though, this is just kind of unofficially, just, I don't know, like thinking of like people's expectations and feelings right now of the travels behind and what is coming ahead. Just also kind of prolonging the actual intro until Ray gets here so he can get the full recap.
I feel like Morgan has these feelings of unsteadiness and uncertainty. Having that brush with death has really kind of reminded her that this place that we just came from was not a kind place. It's not somewhere that she can call home. And stepping into Baxxozan, there's also that element of uncertainty, that new kind of area to explore. Not really sure what she can expect from here. There's a little element of caution in a way in her conscious mind, but also that kind of spark of adventure. I think is there's a little bit of excitement there with that.
Excitement and intrigue for what comes next. Especially for your peculiar specialties, your closeness to the Raven Queen. And, this place is rife with death and mourning and remembrance. The memories of the past and the forgotten have a very heavy presence over this city, and you can feel it in the air as you approach. Say Aljin or Saeryn?
Yes, yes. Saeryn is basically, I think what I said last time is that he's trying to feel out for the next one of those moments where he feels the dice rolling. And at this point, he's also kind of just excited to be back, getting close to a city, because being out in the wastelands is so obviously not his style that I think everyone could tell that he was pretty out of his element, and he's pretty sure he'll be more useful once he's in the city, and so that way the party will be like, okay, we brought this guy along for a reason. Mm-hmm. As opposed to right now, where mostly I think I make bad contacts.
No, and that's fair. Especially looking past or to the past from your decisions and crossroads that have led you to this moment, chasing the feeling of those, the dice in your head, that momentary flash of chance and significance that seems to chase you, or are you chasing it at this point? But up ahead in the city of Bazzoxan, you are determined to find maybe some answers, some usefulness, and probably a bath. That would probably be pretty nice.
That'd be great. I think I got a whole bunch of this damn dust stuck in my fur.
Yeah, like you said, back to civilization. A place where you will feel more comfortable in your element and able to, chase down more possible interests, whatever that may be. And then, Aljin.
I think being back in a city with there's a lot of people around is getting him a little nervous because of, knowing that literally his past is chasing him, so, or could be chasing him. So he's a little concerned about the large group of people again. And I don't know if I stated when he walked up to the gates, but he probably would have put his hood back up and his mask back on at that point because of, being out with people is fine, but he sort of at this point kind of knows this ragtag little group of people that he's mildly like, okay, they're fine. But a large city, it's back to things coming at him, maybe people coming for him again. So he's sort of being a little more, he'll talk, but he's feels a little more trapped at this point, but knowing he needs to go here with this group is one of those things. So he's, getting a little more on edge.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You're feeling guarded and, going back into that familiar, withdrawn on edge, like you said. This arid, dry, awful, craggy wasteland. I mean, you're far, far out of your element. Even the storms here that are far removed from like the comfortable familiarity of the ones that you grew up with in the islands, and this dangerous and hostile environment has definitely put you to your limits as far as that, and then walking back into this uncomfortable setting of being around groups of people, that feeling of looking back over your shoulder is setting back on to you once again. And then somewhere behind you, you got Ludo lagging off in the distance. Is Celestial Moorbounder taking up the rear, even though it's the fastest of the group, or as you come sorry. Oh, apologies. Bug in my throat. Take a sip real fast. So I guess wanted to kind of half rewind to that approach of Baxxozan, that description once again. Jutting from the rusty orange mountains of the eastern Jorhas are these tall spires of black stone, and this is the Betrayer's Rise, a foul fortress from times long past. Beneath the spires, a vast gate blocks all entry to the military outpost of Baxxozan, which sits in the shadows of the Betrayer's Rise. Crumbling and desolate structures huddle between iron watchtowers, and soldiers of the Aurora Watch patrol the tops of the walls and the massive gate ahead of you. Man, I really wanted him to be here for the full recap, but fuck it. We'll just catch him up. Yeah. Just gonna, get into it. From the last session, it basically started off with after you had come back from the caves of that dark ritual, whatever that had been, with that Rudis cursed baby. You'd brought it back to the grove as a gift to the dryads to raise. Which, now I'm thinking about it in retrospect, is kind of funny, because Saeryn's largest concerns about hearing about a baby being abandoned in the wild is like, Fae creatures can just like adopt that, and you never know what that can lead to. And then you rescue the baby and then place it in the hands of powerful Fae dryads.
But we knew these ones. We chose.
Yeah.
We made a choice.
Exactly. The difference. No, I'm just like, that is funny. But the session had actually began off with ended and then began off with Saeryn having that discussion of the job offer from the person around the campfire, asking them, if they want to make some coin and find a way to get some of the magical lumber, some fresh cut logs from some of the trees here at the Enchanted Grove, and find a contact in Bazzoxan, make a little bit of cash on the side, easy. After a little bit of deliberation, I believe the sentence "Hell hath no fury" like that of a dryad's scorn, beginning a whole thing, and everyone decided to not piss off the dryads that they had just received a bunch of boons from. Seemed to be in poor taste, so they left out forthright at a pretty fast pace to try and make up some ground to catch up to the rivaling party who had already made way a good beginning of the afternoon ahead of them. Along the way, they encountered, I believe it was some more sandstorms that just made everything miserable. Once again, sand in the eye and all the places that sand and dust should not be. Saeryn was not loving it when eventually, seemingly out of nowhere, with their perceptions at a disadvantage because of the heavily obscuring sandstorm, a large, huge mammoth came rushing out of the darkness ahead of them, coming right at them, and on its heels up in the sky being harried by a gloomstalker, a leathery, dark-winged shadow creature that has cursed the land since the calamity. It trampled right at them, overrunning pretty much most of the party, killing a couple of the horses underneath its hooves, or giant large feet. Mammoths, they don't have hooves, right? No, that's like a horse. That's a weird image in my head now all of a sudden. Sorry, tangent. But quick battle. Things quickly went bad as the Gloomstalker let out a little bit of a screech, paralyzing Morgen and the mammoth, but it decided to go for easier prey, picking Morgen up, flying her 80 feet up into the air, and then dropping her to try and finish the prey off. Luckily, Ludo was able to rush up on his Celestial Moorbounder with a lay on hands, getting her back up, and then for the first time, the spell Aura Vitality had been cast to try and get some healing going here for the rounds. With one horse left and Ludo resummoning Zephyr, the team decided to load up the horses and walk at a normal pace. And Morgen later, at a little resting spot, cooks up a little bit of that fire tongue flour. At night, Saeryn has some memories of just that junction of a crossroads, time in his past where he had to choose a road and a path going forward, and uses his intuition and feelings, and knows it always turns out pretty well, and has followed those crossroads and paths that has led him here, chasing that feeling of the dice and seeking to find a little bit more usefulness at the second. Morgen reflecting on her near death and realizing that she must act, not be passive. And Ludo is, as normal, a little silent and solemn, while I believe it was Aljin who took watch that night and noticed a couple people passing by. There seemed to be someone scouting up ahead, looking for some mammoth tracks, and then a name that was called out to him seemed to remind him of a bandit that had tried to assail them many nights ago, a person going by the name Six Knives, but decided they've had enough violence and chaos and just let them be. Did another 20 or so miles from the day before, and then that next day there was a massive heat wave as they tried to travel as best as they could to keep up pace, with Aljin using his Ashari water magic to keep everyone cool, refilling the cups of everyone in flasks of cool drinkable water to keep everyone nice and hydrated. And it was at that point, for some reason, he just realized something he'd never noticed before, where his little gourd that he had used for his spell casting and to help refill the drinks just always seemed full, never needed replenishing. As the heat wave intensified, everyone, with the help of this cooling water magic, had passed all of their constitution saves, not being exhausted for the day. They decide, after a little bit of discussion, they're trying to figure out what is the plan. What do they do in Baxxozan while they're up ahead? While Saeryn decides, let's trust in luck. Whatever happens will happen. We'll figure it out when we get there. And then I believe, was it Aljin who asked, is it Yoruba Satyr's foot for good luck? At that point, they got towards and decided to sprint, finish off the distance, and get to the gates of Baxxozan, as we had that description from before. As they approached, and then the Aurora watch guard shouting down, being very rude, and seemingly as if they're doing a bit from a movie from 30, 40 years ago. And with that, we have everyone here.
It's been much longer than 34 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, I said that. I'm like,
much longer than 34 years ago.
Is that like 50,
I'm
60
40,
now?
man. That's much longer. It might be longer than that.
Fuck.
I'm looking it up at this point. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
looking it up at this point because I don't know. It's at least this 70s. Let me find out. Things we need to know about in D&D.
Hey, what is the air velocity of a laden swallow?
Oh, it depends. Is it or the quote, freaking or something swallow? I don't remember. 1975, by the way,
Damn.
was when that was. Yeah. Yep. Are we at the gate, or did we walk through the gates? I can't remember how it ended up.
So basically, it was like you ended off with them like opening the gates, like come on in. As you had approached, the guards basically asked you to identify yourself, ask you if you're mercenaries. With a little bit of hesitation, you guys like, yeah, basically, and then like, okay, we could definitely use the help as we let you in. And basically, so it's like we'll go back to that scene of the doors starting to open up.
I forgot we had the sidebar for a minute to talk about if we actually are mercenaries, because we really haven't get paid for anything. But I think we're mercenaries. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
And not gonna lie, I was a little lazy this week, and I definitely had to just do that wrap up from just reading my notes as I took them last week. And I was just like, oh yeah, this all did happen. Yeah, that makes okay.
It's fine. It was good. I mean, it was an easy one.
Yeah, not one of my better ones. I'll get a better write up in the Doodle Doc here. I definitely need to catch that up and get the last session updated. But we're here in the action. The gates of Baxxozan are swinging open in front of you all. Once again, these giant, massive spired obsidian towers, cathedral looking, ascending upwards, built into the mountain itself. These gloomy haze of dark clouds just hang over the city. As you all have a second there to do and say what you do.
Well, I think the
Morgen,
first thing that
go ahead. Nope, we're talking over each other again. Go ahead, you go.
I was just going to say the first thing that I think I want to do here is find myself a bath.
Yeah, we've been out in dirt a lot, so that sounds nice. Maybe relax a little bit. Yeah, that'd be fun. What do you think, Saeryn? What do you want to do? A bath or find the other party, because the other group, because I know they kind of dished us back there, but I sort of have a feeling that they're, we're gonna see them again, and whatever amulet that they're carrying, they're bring with them, is probably necessary for we're doing.
If I was them, I'd probably find a tavern that had some rooms in it, because they're probably feeling about as beat up as us. So, honestly, us going to find a tavern is probably also a pretty good idea. Maybe we can find the same one as them, or at least get a lay of the land where the taverns are, so we know what to check out.
Not only that, but a tavern could supply us with information.
Yeah. And we can get your bath.
And I can get my bath.
Quite a to-do list. As I say, yeah.
I just looked down, the whole thing. Can you guys hear me? The whole thing crashed. I'm like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so
Yo,
there he
It'll be another
is.
fun night. Ray.
what's up?
What up, buddy? Oh, how are you doing?
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah?
a lot, so I'm all right.
No, fair. Loaded question.
I'm all right.
No.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Glad to see you.
Just fine.
You're chilling.
I was good until it was running fine. Discord was running fine for the last hour, and then I look down and it just says no computer. The site said could not be found. So fun.
Oh, great.
Hope that doesn't
Great.
Hope that doesn't happen again. We'll see what happens in the next 10 minutes, I guess.
We'll get there and get through it. I'll say I did just do a little bit of a brief, catch-up recap, but basically just the quick notes of last session for Ludo, and then I want to definitely get you a moment to catch up. I'll let you guys kind of catch Ludo up on that stuff, I'll give you guys a moment. If you
Oh my
want.
god, is he talking?
Oh, you're out of your little stupor, or not stupor, I guess. Trance. What's called it? Trance. Is that what you do when you get real quiet and you get kind of grumpy?
Yes. It's not grumpy. I'm just focused. What did I miss?
Well, we saved a baby,
Yes, I remember that.
and then we gave the baby to some dryads,
Mm-hmm.
and then a really shady guy offered us a bunch of money to take some of the wood from the dryads' little Emerald Grove thing there and transport it to Bazzoxan, and we decided that seemed like a really good way to get our asses killed.
Wait,
Yeah.
where are we?
Oh, yeah, are we at Bazzoxan right now?
Yeah, you're right at the
Yeah.
gates. So I don't know if you see Ray right in front of you. These on the screen, it's large obsidian gates. These huge
Oh, yeah.
towers coming out of the mountain. this huge temple looming over, built into the mountain itself, and you can just feel like the oppressive Gothic design, just screams infernal, fiend, abyss, demon, devil, all
awesome.
the worst, things. Like, the architecture, what you guys know the city used to be, it has history of, in the Calamity.
Oh, whose camel is that?
Oh shit, that snuck up on me.
Yeah, you see there's a merchant just comes wandering by with his like hood up out of the sandstorm, and he just says, "Well, if you're not going in, I'm gonna scoot by you."
All right, then. Yeah, we're having a little powwow session. You can go on ahead of us.
Yeah, but maybe do that off on the side of the road.
Hey,
next time.
maybe you would just go around. You got a camel, pal. Why don't you just go around? Go around. Hey, buddy, why don't you just go around? Hey. Yeah.
Do you make an intimidation check? Let's say, I think, the satyr just gets up in his face. He's just like
a satyr wearing
checks.
the most ridiculous goggles you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, yeah. That scene is like your bug eyes like right up in his face. He's like, "Hey man, I'm gonna go around."
Just clasps his hands together like he's dusting them off. Yeah.
Yeah. And as you you get a look at him, he's just like orcish build, typical that like gray green skin, and you can't really make out too many facial features that are like, besides what you just like with his hood up. But you see strapped to the camel is just like all sorts of bags and wares, and it seems to be, perhaps some like little traveling merchant.
All right.
And he goes out of his way and gives you guys another like little dirty look and spits down at your feet, just like, all right, whatever, and just moves on his way.
So we're here. We made it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and you see the or watch guard. There was a couple at like the top of the gates that like they came down and opened up the doors, and then they look ahead at you and just like, "Well, are you coming in or not, huh?"
Everyone's always so rude here. It's crazy.
Are we going in or what?
Yeah. I choked on my noodles.
Oh no.
I couldn't tell if that was in person or like in character
Right.
or not.
Yeah. Y'all look back and
I
see
felt the same way.
Just like,
Yeah, that's a 4 intimidation check right there. Yeah.
Yeah, the noodle is just like sticking out the beard still. Yeah, basically they'll like wave you on ahead, and say, "We could bring you to the barracks and find the task hand, and let him deal with you."
I think we're gonna come in. Where is the closest like bath, like place to like get cleaned up and like, public?
The task hand will show you where that all is, and then I will report back to duty instead of babysitting.
All right,
Duty.
let's go.
Okay.
I should like to meet this task hand.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, and as you guys go ahead and make perception checks. Or are you looking for more of like an insight, Ludo?
No, I was trying to incite the merchant with the camel earlier.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
I think you pretty much gave up what I wanted to know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I didn't even see it. Sorry.
No, it's
hell
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, I think because you're looking at the merchant with the insight, you were, just kind of seemed like a guy who was perturbed on the way, but you don't see it because like your kind of gaze goes and wanders off perhaps, but Morgen, you will see. Because as the one Aurora Watch guard is like harassing you, you kind of notice, Ludo, you pass off with your insight that there's just like familiarity between the guards, because like the merchant with the camel, keeps walking up, and he's not being like really addressed. Like the second one who's standing there at the gates does kind of like nod towards him and like wave him on. But Morgen, you see as they pass, there is like a small little handoff contact.
Would I have seen enough to notice that, like, if it was like an item or if it was like concealed in a bag?
Yeah, basically, I think with that 25, it's like probably determined. Probably it's like some like coin pouch or something like that, you know. And I think even with like your like passive like insight and stuff like that, you're being asked to be escorted to the task hand. Basically, like you're getting the like idea that like they keep comings and goings, you know, pretty fairly strictly, but it seems like this guy has a little quick supersede on that.
I think I would kind of whisper to my group members. I think these people might even take a bribe, but it seems that, at least for our first visit, they insist on taking us to see this task hand, and it seems they have their regular travelers here.
Well, let's go see the task hand.
Excellent. As you all make your way through into the city, that's wrong. Boom, boom, boom. As you approach and enter into the city through these gates, you're assaulted by the sounds, the sights of everything. It's huge, grand, but everything is small and compact. It's these small, tight, militaristic, neat rows and orderly, squat buildings. Everything here seems to be ergonomic and purpose and intent, and other than that, it's drab. It's the red, orange, muddy brown color of the rock. Straight worked metal, unfinished, untouched, undetailed, sculpted. This isn't a place for art and frivolity. And in fact, you notice beyond like the Gothic architecture of everything, the sounds that you hear as you walk through the streets. You hear the pinging of a blacksmith off somewhere in the town, the distance, as you like make your way through like block or two. Up ahead at a crossroads, you see there's a row of marching Aurora Watch guards, and they're sleek black, sharp insectile, angular armor, and they're as they're marching along, they're singing like more of like it's like a death dirge. One by one we make our way, 3 by 4 into our graves, and then they just kind of pass off into around the corner in the clamor. There's a little bit of like bits of shops and households, like little bits of captures of color, like the rebel house that has a curtain with like a bright florist and like an attempt at flowers and daisies growing in a windowsill, but vegetation, flora, lavishness and decoration is few and far between. There's these smokestacks coming out of a building that's like on the raised terrace up ahead that leading up to, it's like this large squat building, and this like thick acrid smoke seems to just pour out of these stacks that loom over the city. And then beyond that, rising up is up ahead the gates of what you can only assume is the Betrayer's Rise. rolling off that perception as you guys are making your way, and even before like you can any attempt at conversation, the guards are just kind of escorting you. Saeryn, you're focused. I don't know. You're in a city. You're just looking for civilization. You want a bed. You want a bath. Aljin, you're just kind of, I think, overtaken by the bleak and drab and just like the close, tight quarters of everything. How it's all built top on each other and squat. The air is warm from that heat wave. It's oppressive with the heat baking off of the stones. But Morgen, what you notice is first it's the crunch of the sand and gravel underneath your boots as you're making your way. And then next, you notice it's the silence in the city that is most oppressive. All of a sudden, the silence is punctured by no! And then around the corner, from a crumbling building, 5 twitching, skinless masses of blinking eyes and slavering mouths wriggle into view. One of them, as you come in around the corner, you hear that shout, and it comes and tackles, and it's shredding the flesh of a hapless soldier and 3 of its amorphous maws. All of a sudden, from around them, you hear a couple other guards shout, and then trumpets began to blare an alarm, and several Aurora Watch soldiers that were like kind of watching by on that march hurry up over, and one of them, a male drow, pauses and he catches your attention. He says, "Newcomers, no time for pleasantries. Draw your weapons or get to safety. Find me at the barracks after." I'm going to catch a scene over to all of you real fast. This is what you see.
Gross.
I'm going to remove all turn orders. And then we're going to need to roll initiative.
I have a hard time putting us in initiative. We don't have a token, so this will be.
Oh wait. Here, let me actually fix that. Then. Sorry.
You drop some tokens in.
No, I got thing.
Half of me wants to be like, well, this doesn't concern us, and just head off. But I know we won't do that.
Well, that's some bad luck for that soldier. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that really looks like it's. I mean, you're in the back. Like that really looks like it's awful. I cannot believe that. I mean, you want to go find that bath?
Sucks to be those guys.
Yeah, we're going to recant that for comedy effect. That did not happen.
Let's start with that one. We will move people over to the scene, and then I will bring your tokens over for y'all. Where was the last one that you guys were all on?
The fight with the Gloom Stalker and that whole fight.
This place is mean.
This place is mean.
Okay, yeah, we got one horse. We got Zephyr. We got the four of y'all.
Forgot one poor horse.
Amazing.
Yeah, you missed that, Ray. A couple horses died.
Oh, nice.
Morgen almost died.
Oh yeah, your Moorbounder did die as well. There's a mammoth was being attacked by a Gloomstalker as it came running out of the dust, harrying it. It trampled the horses and most of y'all underfoot. And then it picked up Morgen after paralyzing her and dropped her back to the ground from 80 feet, almost killing her. And then you got to do the healing.
Nice.
And then, you guys took a few days just kind of taking it easy after that. And then heat waves, traveling. And then you got to the gates. We'll put people Let you guys arrange yourselves as you need. Yeah, do you guys see everything?
Everything but baddies, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good because I wanted you to be arranged where you think you were.
Yeah, I would be probably in the middle because I'm like, probably next to the horse. I'm trying to put something big to one of my sides. I don't want people to really see or notice me. So it'll be on
I
one side
assume
there.
we're coming from the bottom.
Yeah. You're heading up that direction. Let me double check my tokens. I'm pretty sure.
Saren's like, whoever's in front of me needs to be I need to be right behind everybody else.
In one of the other campaigns I was playing in, a player character had a sword that might make him go into a bloodlust if he failed a wisdom save, and he had
Mhm.
a -1 to his wisdom. So
Oh,
I told him
God,
I'd
no.
always be. I told him that my character would always be behind him, exactly 60 feet away, because that's how far I could stretch a whole person.
It's pretty good.
Alrighty, we will do this. 1 second. My tokens here. Probably should have, had all this ready, but
It's more fun on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
This is the equivalent of Matt Mercer leaving the room and rolling the map in.
Yeah, so what's your guys' immediate reactions?
I want to say, like, looking at it, like, Aljin Finn is like sitting there going, okay. I mean, like all the stuff we've been through in the last, like, I don't know, a few days is just like par for the. At this point, it's like, okay, this place sucks. It's par for the course at this point of more creatures coming. I thought we were gonna be safe here, but no, more creatures coming out of the woodwork here just for, why not? Why not?
Why not?
Big hole.
I
Hole
guess.
does not appear.
You must roll initiative. You must roll initiative, I assume.
Yes. Now everyone roll initiative.
Token. 18. Why do I roll so shitty until I roll initiative?
Ugh.
I roll so crappy, and then initiative happens.
I'm still oblivious.
All right. We will do. This will be interesting. Where is his button? Initiative on my guy. Fuck it. Just gonna roll a dex. 16. Yeah, I'm just like, couldn't find that on him. Weird stat sheet, but let's put that in there. And then we got these things. Awesome. Okay. All right. So these things came running out of these works, and you heard the shouts. The alarm bells start blowing off. You hear like one of them got their horn off, and then you hear like bells and clinging off in the distance. You hear the guards just like, "Oh shit! They snuck it through! Out! Defend the city!" And then they go and try and lay their attacks in real fast. We'll say, actually, yeah, they definitely get those in. So he's going to attack this first one up here, which, let me get this up. So he is going to be, awesome. And then the second one is going to make his attack as well. Since he is right up on that, and he's going to attack that same one that they're both like kind of like he is like the one that's being attacked by it, so he has to get himself up from prone, and then he's going to make his spear attack. That will dig in, so that will go to that. All right, And now we will move on in initiative. Aljin, it is your turn.
Oh crap! I'm up first. Okay. So the two darker ones are the guards, and then this guy here. We recognize these three as like guards, like good, quote unquote good guys, or at least from this area.
And
okay.
Actually, yeah. So instead of actually, I just realized something before that as attacks happen. Let me just do. Okay, so the first guard actually does not make his attacks in, so is actually going to get that damage back. Because instead, as he goes and makes his attack, he sits there in a daze and does nothing, and you actually now begin to hear a gibbering and yeah, you just hear a weird sound, and one of those guys seem to be caught in a daze and doing nothing with it.
That's terrifying.
And, yep.
Okay, so it's my turn.
And actually, where are you at in there?
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, make a wisdom saving throw for me, because you now hear coming around the corner that same sound.
Okay. This is going to be good. A 7.
Save. All right, roll a d8 for me.
Huh? 1. Going well, guys.
Do nothing.
This is about right. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Yep, sorry.
Moving on.
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Dick to this guy. No, I'm just like this. I'm gonna say this one is completely by the book battle, and I'm like, this book is mean.
No, I mean that's fine. I mean, I rolled a 7 on my wisdom save.
All right. So at the beginning of this turn, you see there's this guy here who you look at him, and he has
hold on 1 second, real quick. Is it a charmed effect?
Gibbering mouth or babbles incoherently. Any creature in his incapacity to start his turn and hear the thing must save a wisdom throw. It does not say anything about being a charmed effect.
I mean, that's the only way it would save me is if it was a charmed effect. So
true, yeah.
So I had to check.
No worries. So yeah, so you see me pop that up again. So you see the guy, the one who came up and addressed you as newcomers, his white hair spilling down over like his face, like with like past his bangs, his rest of it like tied up into a tight bun, has this like large, like black, blue, purple, midnight cloak over his armor. And he's wielding this large glaive that's longer than him over his polished armor, but it's not like, he doesn't have the helmet on. He sticks out from the rest of the other Aurora Watch soldiers, and he says, "Demon incursion, you will be driven back." And then as he pulls up with his glaive, he makes a slash, even though I pulled him forward so I can click on him. He's like 10 feet away, and as he goes and swings at the one, you see the glaive, even though it has the distance, he doesn't swing at it with the thing. He swings almost right in front of him, and at that same time, what pops up right in front of where the thing is standing, a shadowy black, almost midnight form essence that mimic his shape and form and movements entirely comes into the space in front of the one demon that he's swinging at. In that space occupying, he manifests his echo, and that attacks for him. And he makes his glaive attack 3 times. Alright, so that is going to be... Yeah. And you see he just like pierces into it, just a quick midnight flurry, and even though he's not even close to it, he's like standing there, and like you see there's actually he for some reason has resistance to this effect of these creatures. Now we'll go on to Morgan's turn.
So we'll take.
So they are all attacking this one. At the beginning of your turn, make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, I need to do a thing to give them all auras so I can remember this.
That's a 23.
All right, you pass.
All right, I'll move up here. I don't think I can see this one. Oh, and it's too far away from where I've stepped. But that's okay. I am going to upcast a Bane to 2nd level.
Awesome. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 on those.
Yeah,
One,
the
two.
3 up
ones.
here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome. We'll start at the very north one. Those are charisma saving throws, I believe.
You are correct.
All right. Big, oozing blobs of flesh. They're probably not that charismatic. Yeah, all fails. So those will all... Oh my gosh. That's so fucking funny. All right. Anything else? That was a great turn. What does your Bane take form of and look like as you cast it on these aberrations that you see in front of you?
I feel like Morgan would walk forward to this spot, slowly pulling off 4 feathers from the dress, tossing them in the air one at a time, kind of chanting a slow and steady curse on each one of them. As she kind of flips it in the air, it burns in her hand, and then just kind of reappears over top of the creatures, and that kind of like burning energy sort of condenses back onto the creatures and just kind of takes hold over them.
Oh yeah, and yeah, you feel that settle on them. Any bonus actions?
I have no meaningful bonus actions at this time.
Saeryn, you're just out of range, I believe. That looks to be just shy of you, I think, or from around that corner.
Yeah, it looks like I don't think I have visual contact on it.
Yeah. So we'll.
But I do have visual contact on the one that's fighting one of the guards. That's 60 feet, right?
Yeah. The one that the guards, that one's at 65. There's one that hasn't been hit yet that's in front of the one guard, though. Well, both those up there haven't been hit yet, but yeah. Those two.
It's hard for me to tell which is which, so I'm just going to hit the one that's kind of closer to me. That's baned, but in combat with a guard.
Awesome. Here, let me do red, blue, green, orange, and purple.
Perfect.
So
I'm going to hit blue with a mind sliver.
Blue with a mind sliver. All right, that's an intelligence saving throw. DC 15, it fails, so that is a 10 psychic damage. Nice. And then that is a minus D4 on its next saving throw.
Attack.
Okay. So remind me on that when it does that. Anything?
Anything else? It kind of already had that from the Bane, but
yeah, I don't think these things are getting anywhere. Anything else?
No, I like my positioning.
All right. Is now the gibbering mouthers' turns. This one is going to keep attacking this guard that they had already been attacking on, even though it is baned. It is going to make that bite attack. That is going to be a big old miss. I'm not even going to roll that bane. And then that boy is going to need to make his dex save. That is fine. That one uses that turn, so that was red. Blue's gonna do the same thing. They like seem to like be using like a gang up tactic. Actually no, blue. It just had that. Yeah, it's gonna just do that. 21. Let's do that minus a D4. So that brings it down to a 17, which still definitely hits that guard. So that is going to be 15 piercing damage. Okay, yeah, you see this guard, despite this spell being cast, that protective energy that you tried doing it, this one on the south, the blue one, just comes up and just... Or wait, no, it had to roll another minus D4 on that, right?
I'm actually looking to see if they stack.
Yeah, no
Because
idea
yeah,
if they're
Bane.
stacking or not.
Yeah, because Bane is its own, because they're separate effects at that point.
Yes, that is what I had just confirmed. It says the effects of different spells add together.
Yeah.
Oh
That
boy.
is ridiculous because that just saved his life. You see the attack go in and it like goes and grabs part of him, like, and it grabs his arm and he starts to begin like yelling and thrashing, and that like the combination of that like Bane, that shadow protective magic, and then just like basically that's like at the same time, like this all happening simultaneously, and you just hear Saeryn snap his fingers and that little mind sliver just forces that thing and lets him get free from that attack. That is amazing. Green is going to come up with its movements.
And is going to roll an 11 on its attack.
Yep. Awesome. Because actually, before you get that far, I am so sorry. It goes brok, brok, and it moves down 10 feet. So it's going to use its dash. Although, yeah, this map's small, so we won't use diagonals on this map. Just for the sake of things, and I'll try and be. I know it's kind of inconsistent. Some maps will be, I'll try and keep it fair or consistent, or if you guys, how you want to do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense on a smaller
This
map.
is a road,
Don't
not
use
an
diagonals.
outcropping of rocks.
Yeah.
So that thing uses its dash. So you do not need to use that yet.
Okay.
Actually, no, it does not use its dash. It uses its blinding spittle attack. Does that? So it shoots a little chemical blob at that guy. He must make a dex save. Or that's Morgen. Sorry, Morgen, make a dex save.
Gotcha. Dex save.
Sorry, I'm attacking the guard. All right. So that thing goes to shoot at you, and this little glob of like a blinding flash of light hits in your face, and you're blinded until the end of the Mouther's next turn. 5, 10. 5, 10. Alright. That's going to be same thing at Ludo. Go ahead and make a dex save.
Dex save.
Alright, so you are blinded as well as it's that spit at you. And it is now your turn. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me now. Yes, I'm running. I'm like, oh yeah, these monsters suck.
Yeah.
You
This
just
is
hear
where we all
like
die, guys.
every.
This is where we all die.
All right, you pass. It's like you hear that, blah, 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 like all these sick, disgusting mouths. Let me pop that token up again for y'all. Eyes, mouths, places in a barren mound of flesh and disgustingness. But you withstand it. You are blinded, technically, but you know where it was at, and all that stuff, and just mechanically the disadvantage, blah blah blah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna run towards where I thought I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you let your spear feel out for you, which I will say, like, how is Ludo feeling? Like, having that little catch up, entering the city, the moments, like what was going on through your head as you approach, and as soon as you get through the gates, this happens. Like, what is your place in life right now?
Yeah, well, right now he's very on edge, a little bit confused since he was in his trance, and all of a sudden, he knew this was where they were trying to get to, and it doesn't seem like the ideal place to be any longer. So he is ready to fuck some shit up, I will say.
Yeah, he's ready to let loose. So he's attacks
All right, so he is blinded. Did it go? Yeah. So.
I mean, yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Cool.
Doing anything else with that attack?
A smite on there too.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Kind of smite.
What is that? 2D.
Same level.
Yeah. First level, that'd be 2d8.
Oh.
Ooh, nice.
So we'll go with that 20 damage. First attack, anything else?
Yeah, second attack.
Alrighty. Yeah, it's this silver light spear as you reach forward and attack out with it. You can just feel that warmth pulse in your hand as it gets near the creature. Basically, and lets you know where to strike true at. And once again, easy enough. We'll go with the 24 with the damage on that roll. It is funny, you're just getting the better damage rolls on the disadvantage roll. Because that's always my rule is whatever roll dice that you take, that's the damage I always do if it rolls it for you on
yeah, of course.
Another smite on there.
And no, I'll hold off on the smite, but I will polearm master bonus attack.
Amazing. Just Floridos comes in. Yeah, so if you guys ever wonder, that's how I, especially when it rolls out in D20, I always like to roll 20. Another 11, roll that again. Take that 11, that still hits. Big oozy flesh mound, y'all, not hard to hit.
Cool. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Awesome, another 6 damage. I mean, you're messing it up. I mean, this thing is getting hit pretty bad. We'll go to the back up to the top. These Aurora Watch, the one that basically they're just screaming and just a frenzy and just both laying in. Top one red, bottom one blue. Yep. All right. So that will be 24. Whole 2 damage. Amazing. They have their shield and spears, and they're trying to lay into these creatures at this close range. Oh, actually, I keep forgetting they had to do this first. Okay, so the first one did it, and the second one, that's why he didn't do good damage, because he might not have been making his attack. A 6. Awesome, so I'm going to have to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you see this guy just go dashing off and away, just with the gibbering of the creature just gets to him, and he just puts his hands to his head, he yanks his helmet off, just make it stop, and runs off away from that creature. It's gonna make an attack at him of opportunity. 9, that is going to miss. So this guy is now officially off screen basically as he just goes away. Is actually going to go out of the range of the other one that is also going to take an opportunity attack. That one is baned, so that will make a minus a d4 on that. That still hits. So as he goes screaming away, he does not get off screen, actually. You see he goes, like, as he goes and gets past the second one, it grabs a hold of his leg with, like, one of those tendrils that has a mouth at the end that, like, hooks the back of his calf and just, like, grabs him, and he falls down to the ground and is, like, slowly dragged into it and dead on the spot. Damn, that thing rolled really well. So that is that was his turn that happened on. Finn, you just watched all of that. Make another wisdom save for me.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope it's not one of those
gonna
nights.
go well.
I really hope it's not one of those.
16. Hey.
All right, buddy. We
actually have something.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. I really do hate these creatures.
No, it's just how it works. Just how it works. I'm trying to see if I can place something half decently to make it work.
Yeah, I just can't believe it actually got that thing on that guy. I'm like, oh wait, shit, he doesn't attack. He runs away.
Yeah,
oh shit, he leaves the range of both of those monsters. Like,
oh no.
I'm like, that's worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And that thing with its movement at the end of its turn will slide on down over towards Morgen. Oh wait, no, that wasn't its turn. I'm dumb.
That was just a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ludo's in peril, and so is Morgen because she's right there, and that's a bummer for me. I don't like either one of those scenarios. So,
I mean, Ludo's not really.
You're. I don't know. You're blind, but right where that's centered, I think everybody should be able to see that.
Yeah.
You see a vortex of water sort of starts trickling out of the ground, and then it just goes zoom and opens up into a vortex. Ludo, you automatically make the save, so you don't have to worry about it because that's part of the spell. I can pick the amount of people up to my charisma, I believe. Look.
I believe so.
To my spellcast modifier. So up to 5 people I can pick to already make the save. So you don't have to make the save, but all 3 of the monsters, because within 10 feet, and that would take all 3 of those monsters, need to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Yeah, all 3.
Awesome.
I like all those.
Yeah,
those are great numbers. Those are great
numbers.
They take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, and if they can be prone, they are prone. Yeah, -4 each. Thanks, Morgen. Plus a -D4, or plus 1 minus D4.
I mean, how low can they go?
That's great. That looks
great.
Could you,
let's roll those real quick. Let's see if they can get some zeros out. Yeah. So you guys see that little whirlpool?
1, 5, and a 3. That's a great whirlpool. Love that.
Yeah, it just summons up and captures all of them. Let me suck these guys. They are, you see, it like grabs and pulls them, and they start to like swirl around, and it goes like knock them prone. But you see like the ooze, they just kind of form back up, shapeless, amorphous.
Worried about that whole aspect of that thing.
But they all take 10?
10 points of bludgeoning damage. Yep. That happened. That was a thing. You see, I don't think I got like many bonus actions, but the one bonus action I do have is my favorite, and I move back 10 feet.
Yep.
And then
good bonus action.
And then move like to here. And I think that is all I can do.
Awesome. We'll go back up to the task hand, and he will continue doing his attacks, that shadow thing, as he goes in and starts attacking that one with his glaive. Awesome. Yeah, he does all of that. It's pretty good. And then yeah, just kind of Harry, and then he'll like get around over into position. And once again, it seems to be, you know, immune to that effect. Back to Morgen. I mean, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Like-
Well, I think that since these things are making that sound, I can just kind of hear where it's at. So I'll just kind of move over, pull out the dagger, and we'll start stabbing.
Because you're still blind, right?
Yeah, so this is with
So
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Awesome. Yeah. I will say the what like aberrant, eldritch babbling and incoherent nonsense holds no candle to the countless wails of the grave that Morgen is used to.
That'd be a 9 to hit.
9 will hit.
Whoa! All right.
So you hear it and you just reach out with that dagger and just find purchase.
6 piercing,
Hell yeah.
and that'll do it.
All right, yeah. Morgen just kind of walks up, just blindly, just trusting that the dagger will find its mark. Amazing. Saeryn. Wait a minute. Yep. Wisdom save. What's that number?
19.
Ooh, fucking good save. All right. Saeryn, you got these monsters, this nonsense in front of you.
I'm not a big fan of this. I thought we were getting a bath. And I'm gonna mind sliver orange.
Orange, all right. Intelligence save. Yeah. Wait, let me. I got a -1.
-2.
All right, this thing is like looking rough. Like the form is like starting to lose some of the shape and just become a little bit more, rough looking. But you guys are whittling away.
I'm not a big fan of standing this close to him. I'm gonna back up a little.
Yeah, you like get out of like where you like that incessant chittering seems to die down back at that distance. All right, it is now going to be their turn. We'll start with this one. Well, the one dead, so this one is now going to go ahead and actually attack this shadowy echo that's been attacking at it this whole time. With a 9 to hit, and that seems to miss. And then it's going to try shooting the blind spittle at it, and I'm going to make a dex save for it because it's an echo. And you see it seems like pass right through and have no effect. Like this like echoey, shadowy form that's like a complete mimic of this task hand in front of you, and it's like seems to like be dodging and like moving and swaying with his movements as like the both of them like are attacking in tandem, it seems. And just like dodge out of the way of that one. The blue one is now actually going to take attack at him as well. Yeah, nothing. Now it's going to shoot the actual person, which they are going to have to make their save. Easy enough. Morgen, on you, it's going to do the same thing. You know, easy attacks. Wait a minute.
It has advantage.
Awesome. Well, let's try that again. No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, 2 nat ones in a row?
That's 2 zeros in a row.
Oh, 2 zeros. Oh, nice.
Because it got -3. Oh, that's beautiful. That is actually poetic. I have to screen cap that real fast. That's amazing. I mean, it's gonna stay there. Go ahead and make a dexterity save, Morgen.
A 10.
All right. You're blinded. again, still. Oh, wait. Actually, wait. No, I need to... No, it doesn't do that. You don't have to make a dex save. Sorry, I'm rushing a lot, y'all. Apologies.
You're super blinded. you
you're
now
totally
can't hear.
Yeah,
What?
it's like all the bad things are happening. No. So you're totally fine. Like, I keep saying the thing, I'm like, wait, no. Double check the rules. That's that one. So Orange is going to attack Ludo. It is Baned and Mind Slivered, I believe.
Yes.
And Ludo you are blinded as well, right?
Correct.
Awesome. So this will be at advantage. So we'll go with that 7 minus 4. Does a 3 hit you?
No, miss.
Oh, no
It
way.
does not.
All right, this one's going to come around it and try and do the same thing, and this one has not used its blind spit at you because it was too far. I had to use its stash last turn. So 10 to hit you, and then go ahead. I can't do the thing. So that will be those turns. Ludo, here's your turn.
Yeah, Ludo's going to stab Orange again with this silver light spear.
Oh yeah. You're no longer blinded, but go ahead and make that wisdom save again real fast.
Yep.
All right, roll a d8 for me.
D8.
And then roll another d8 for me.
And another D8.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to go move. You can't take any actions or bonus action and use all of your movement to basically run down past the direction southeast of purple. Like, you're basically running all you can back towards that horse. That will, with your full speed, so basically 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So basically, you're going to be like right here. And then you'll get 2 opportunity attacks on you as you run. The 3 is going to miss because that's also
The next one's an 11.
All right, next one's an 11. Hell yeah. Easy enough. As you go and start dashing away, you just are overcome by that apparent awful sound, and we will move on since that was your turn. Apologies.
All right.
All right.
That's cool.
Up to this guard, he is going to do the same thing. Bad news. 5, same thing. Yeah, so it's going to be the same. He's going to try to go dashing away from the monster up off the map there, screaming just like, "Get him out of my head!" And that is going to make its attack at 16, but it is Bane, so that will actually miss him as it goes to try and run away. So he is off the map, safe out of distance now, though. So we'll go back to Finn.
All right. I don't like.
You're out of the distance.
I'm out of the distance. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm out of the distance. I can see. I can see a couple of the auras. I think, but
Yeah.
I think I'm out. I'm just trying to make a decision of what I don't like the most. There's 2 things I don't like. I don't like these monsters being here, but I also don't like Morgen being off on her own like that, and that's a bummer. 15, 20, 25. I'm going to just do this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to go 25 feet here, which I think I got enough distance here for this spell. 30-foot cone. I'll also use cones. I got cones. I can get away where I don't hit Morgen, which is great. and I don't hit the horse. I'm trying to just get away from Morgan and the horse.
Yeah, this looks like a good cone.
Yeah,
Easy enough.
looks like a good cone. I'm just gonna cone those two monsters.
Awesome. What you doing?
With a rhymes binding ice. You see him
Ooh.
pull out, so he's gonna make a DC throw. You see him pull out of his bag of his water bag, just water, and as he like throws it, the spray just freezes and turns into ice as it tries to bind the creature. So a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. Fail. They are they take 9 points of cold damage, and I believe for the next minute or until someone breaks them off, their speed is 0.
Fuck yeah.
So they can't move.
Amazing.
Which then I will take my action or my bonus action to go back 10 feet and then over. I think I can get to there. Hold on, I gotta see where I'm at. We're started 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Back 10 feet over. Oh, I actually would drop back to here into my full walking distance and speed. So that is my turn.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so Morgan, that is very like thank you for using the words that I'm failing to. Like these things are actually terrifying. These blobs of flesh that paralyze you with whatever penetrates into your brain, take away your vision, and then your force of will and force you to just go running in random directions as they devour you alive. And you actually just watched that happen in front of you as soon as you step foot into this city that has been called the Bastion Safe Haven of the Barbed Fields. And you see this guy in this polished armor with a shadowy echo of himself just laying into one of these. So he's going to go one attack. And you see that attack put that one down. And then he looks over at the one right there on his back, and we'll go ahead and just actually go ahead and swap places with that shadowy version of himself. You see, like, he just kind of dissipates into smoke, forms in the spot where the smoke form just was, and that takes his place. And then as it like comes and forms in a symbol, he reaches up with his like both their arms coming down for another 2 attacks as he attacks the other one from a distance now, and then the shadow takes his place of his 3rd attack. Amazing. Yeah, they said, hey, check out our really cool Echo Knight.
Another nat 20 on the wisdom save.
I bet you're going to want to, talk to this guy at the end of this combat.
He's really cool, y'all.
He's really
Just
cool,
saying.
y'all.
Hey, I hear you. You don't need to keep going. Hey, let's.
Yeah, you guys are actually kind of coming out a little too strong. All right, Morgan.
So this is going to be an inflict wounds at 3rd level, 18 to hit.
I mean, of course. So you banish the thoughts that is trying to penetrate your head, and you just reach out and fuck yeah, that 18 damage.
Oh no, that's just my team.
Oh, okay. So that's
31.
Amazing. So you're like, what do you think you're expecting to feel as you reach out to touch it with your inflict wounds?
I feel like it would be a soft kind of like, I don't want to use the term like a fleshy kind of bag. Like, I don't know, like, those like hot water bags. Like that you would just kind of like, put on like a sore spot or something like that. Just like
Yeah.
that rubbery kind of like just bouncy texture is kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Like it's almost like not quite a Newtonian liquid, like or solid. Like it's because like you guys are hitting it hard and it's penetrating, but it's actually as you go and touch it softly, you find a spot without the teeth, just like a small tendril that you reach out, and as you just like, it begins to like crisp and blacken and smolder because it's not like this necrotic damage. There's no inner system that you're like defuncting or trying to destroy. It's like you're just actually like withering and rotting. It's actual, like it's like a writhing living muscle, but also an ooze that squishes and oozes in like response to that touch, and it cries out with that like awful guttural sound. You fucked it up. Any bonus actions?
Nope, that's it. And
Alright, the wailing and crying continues. Saeryn, I believe, how close are you to that southern one? I think you're just in range of it.
Oh no!
Make that wisdom save.
Oh no!
Oh no! Alright, roll that d8. Alright. A lot of sixes. Roll at another d8. Yeah, we'll say you kind of gotta run over to the side of the street there. You gotta run over towards Ludo.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. This is gonna be their turn. We'll just get this knocked out. 19. Actually, that's gonna hit miss no matter what. That's down to a 16 that will miss against the task hand. Against Morgen, the green one's gonna make an attack. Yep, no dice. These two have 0 movement, correct?
Yeah. Orange and purple have 0 movement.
All right, let's see if purple recharges this. Nope. 17 or high. Yeah, that's something like on a 17 or higher on the dice roll, they might be able to figure out that they can help each other get free.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like
for the next minute until they break each other free, they're just hanging out. Yeah.
No, exactly, and that's why I'm like their intelligence is really bad, but like when it comes to creatures and a natural instinct of survival and feeding, there's a a drive that comes in them, that natural instinct. For these things, it still comes really hard, and they do not realize quite yet that they are capable of helping each other because they're mindless, devouring ooze bags. Ludo, let's get you.
I was going to ask.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask on Ludo's sake. His Moorbounder's been hanging out. Can it do anything on his turn?
I was just going to ask. I was.
Okay.
I was, yeah. So how does that work? Do I have to use my actions, or since it's a summon, can I instruct it to attack?
I was gonna say, does the spell have text regarding that at all?
It does say
it's fine.
The steed has stats of chosen form. Yes. Steeds serves you as a mount, both in combat. You have instinctive bond with it, allows you to fight as a seamless.
I don't think it has its own initiative. It's sort of just a thing.
Yeah, you can get that locked up, roll it in there. So on your D&D Beyond sheet, you can actually put in like your extras file, like the stat sheet of the monster to pull up if you ever need it. I can also find that link for you real fast and let you control that on your turn.
Is it? Yeah, is it just the Moorbounder stat sheet?
Yeah, just go straight Moorbounder.
Yeah, I have that.
Also, I'll post that there just in case. Yeah, and we'll have that. Probably just run it on your turn because it's like since the Steed spell has like spells you cast on yourself can affect it as well if you're like riding it. So we'll say like have you like in the beginning of battles determine if like I guess I'll like try and like get you like figure out if you're like on the steed or not, and then if it's like if we're on it, we'll consider it in combat, and then basically we'll like let that figure out each as we need to. But
Okay.
For the sake of, we'll just have it roll on your turn, just cause make it easier on you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cause it's
yeah. So
if
in
it's
this
on
case,
its-
can I?
Yeah, we'll say go ahead and make a wisdom save for it real fast. We'll just count that just to
Alright.
catch up. Yeah, let's get that in and see what we do from there.
Wisdom save for the Moorbounder.
Alright, here, try one more, but we'll see if that, because that was to determine why it wasn't doing anything this whole time. We'll say with that 13, it just barely passes. So now we'll say on this turn it's able to start acting.
All right. Can I make it run up and attack purple?
You should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have
Yep.
control. Track purple. Make text. Alright, what's the? I mean, it's
Oh,
above
this thing-
9.
Sucks.
So actually misses. As you roll up, like you see its claws, like they can't, like it sinks into its flesh and then like pulls away almost like harmlessly. So that would be that.
All right.
Try anything for yourself.
Yeah, probably only.
Did you make your wisdom save yet?
Oh, of course. Yeah, can I run up?
Oh God, these wisdom
An
saves
11?
are horrible.
Failed.
These are terrible wisdom saves, guys.
You passed.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Fuck.
You passed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just a 10.
All right, running up. Oh. Running up.
You're skimming along that wall.
I think he's going to like skim in between the Moorbounder and purple here and try to get up to fight orange since he's already been
Awesome. If you have enough movement to get past the thing on your turn there, awesome. Yeah, go ahead and make that attack.
Yeah.
You hit above a 9. You do. We'll go. You're doing a one-handed, right? Because you have shield.
Yes.
Awesome. So do that 4. Anything else with it? Any smarty? With that smite, the 8 damage is enough to kill it. You see it like resist the first stab, but then it like that pulse of divine energy flares through it and it bursts and like blows up apart, like, and you're just kind of covered with bits of teeth and goo and ooze and straight up not having a good time. Any other attacks? Alright, 16 to hit, definitely. On Purple Boy. That's another
Can
8.
attack
All right. Anything else with that?
here.
Gonna pull our master attack. 10 will still hit for another 5. Fuck yeah. All right. So you see Ludo just begins laying in with his spear, moves up, slides around to Zephyr, who started swinging and getting in the battle. We'll go back to Finn, who is safely out of range.
I'll skirt over here so I can at least see the blue, because that guy's up there, like, kind of all alone. And will I be able to see Morgan in that group? There's a lot of stuff happening. I don't know if I'll be able to see that monster. Yeah, I can see this monster. I don't know if I'll be able to see this monster or not. The green.
Yeah, it is kind of like right on the ground. In front
obscured
of
a little bit. But I can definitely see... Whoops, that's not the right thing. I can definitely see blue because it's right in front of me. And I can see purple because it's right in front of me. I will... Font of Magic. No, that's not the right one. Sorcerer points, yeah. I'm going to use a Sorcerer point to twin. Make sure it's what I want to do. That's not the right thing. Feet. Yep. Cantrip cast for 1. To twin spell a firebolt. 1 at blue, 1 at purple, because those are the 2 I can see from my angle. So blue will be a 12 to hit.
Beautiful.
At blue, and it takes 10 points of fire damage.
Hell yeah.
I was hoping it would go down. And then at purple, it's going to take 24 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Assume hits. And that one's going to take 14 points of fire damage.
Amazing. And you guys are starting like fucking these up. Like these things are pretty resilient, actually. Like this is impressive. Like you guys are chipping out a lot of damage. Anything else?
Like I have no bonus actions. No, that's it. That's all I can really do. I was hoping to do something else, but at this point, that's all I can do.
Lady, let's see. Yeah, he's gonna make it easy. Same thing. He's just gonna be like, we must drive the demons off, and then he just keeps attacking in. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, fucking things melt. You see, even though it's like looking pretty good, he just like lays in with that echo attacking through it, and then comes running up and and he says, "We're gonna end this now." And you see he just like pulls forth a surge of energy, and he pulls out a crossbow from his side, and then rips that in like lightning fast and fires off a shot at the one right there in front of Morgen. And that's still going to hit, and then that one is also going to pew pew, bam, and he just like drops that one as well. You see his like crossbow just puncture in heavily and splat it right in front of you. He says, "Too many casualties," and then Morgen, your turn.
Am I in the range of this one? I think so. 16 on my wisdom save.
Yep. Cleric's fine.
Then we'll go kind of stand on the body of that one, and I'll upcast a level 2 inflict a wound.
Hell yeah.
Once I find my body.
25 will hit. Another 25.
Yep,
All right.
25 necrotic.
How do you want to do that?
So, I'll kind of just walk up here, pull a feather, kind of imbue it with this like kind of purplish dark light energy, and then just rest it on my palm, and then bring the palm to the creature here. Set the feather against like the skin, getting like a nice skin to skin contact, and then just like with a forceful, kind of throw that divinely necrotic energy through the surface of the skin.
Oh yeah, and that's you just basically just go and put it to rest, and pass that necrotic energy through. A dust and silence falls over this narrow street. Houses, shops closed up. The wind's blowing around you, and as you see that soldier there, the one who's still standing, who hasn't fled, just with one final flourish of his blade, fling the goo and guts of the creature off of it to keep the blade clean as he wipes it off with his cloak, and you see that shadowy form dissipate back into the dust. And then there's that silence, and then you look over at the corpse of the one soldier. And he says,
"What the fuck was that?"
"Oh, thank God you are all here. I'm so sorry. I am the Tascan Varen Thalis of the then Thalis. Nice. Are you injured?"
I think we can take care of ourselves, kind of. Does the rest of your group? I mean, you lost that guy there. I'm sorry about that. But does
another fallen?
Yeah, I mean, what happened there? What were these things?
Those are known as gibbering mouthers, is what we call them. Aberrations from. And then he just kind of falls silent in his eyes. He just drifts up towards where the betrayer's rise stands. Wrist from the abyss. Holdover scars from the calamity. That is what this city is here to fight, protect against. These creatures sneak in the city, find holes and rifts out of the rise. We just don't have enough people to patrol, to keep everyone safe. And just see a man who's just exhausted. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm the Tascan. I'm the leader of the watch here. Do you need to go to the infirmary?
Morgen, are you okay? You're sort of in the mix there. I mean, Ludo, you good? You two were in the middle of that crap. So, you guys good? You guys get hit?
I myself remain uninjured.
Oh, good.
Nah, I got lucky.
Perfect. Ludo, you okay?
Say anything?
No, he's gone quiet again. He must be concentrating. He does this occasionally. He goes into this weird little state.
Over himself and hello.
We can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear you
weird. I was talking this whole time.
now. Go again.
Maybe that was just in my head. Ludo looks at his armor and he just brushes off.
Oh no, it's cut out.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, so I heard that. Yeah, it's weird.
Ludo is untouched.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, and you see, this guy, he's like pretty much looking totally fine too. And he looks at the dead, and he goes and like grasps like around his necklace. I'll say Morgan. You see, there's like a medallion with like the sign of the Luxon, that like dodecahedron shape, and he's like whispers a little prayer. He's like, "Reborn into the light. May you find memories in the next life." He says, well, what? I'll have to go report and check in at the barracks and make sure that the city, it seemed to be a coordinated attack. There was various horns. I heard an alarm. If you don't need anything, you can come find me at the barracks later. What brings you to this blasted, blighted land and city?
We've been asked.
For a drink.
Really, we've been asking ourselves the same question for like, why are we here for a while? So, anyway, why don't you go check on your guys, and we'll meet back up with you. But yeah, a drink would be great, and a bath would be great if you could like hook us up with those two things.
Yeah, yes. You want to find the ready room. That's as good as it gets for an inn and staying. And then he looks over at where Ludo and Morgen are, seeing like them emblazoned with like the iconography and symbolism of divine, and they say the deities are welcome here, but sure would be nice for them to make their presence known every once in a while.
Well, unfortunately, right now, the only thing we have from the deities are the emissaries, such as ourselves. But, yes, go attend to your people. We will meet you at the barracks at a later time.
So and what are your names? I mean, all these groups are coming into town, and I reckon you have a name too, do ya?
I apologize, I forgot to properly introduce myself. My name is Morgen Megen.
Morgen Megen. And like as you see, he's like taking it and like he's filing this away, and like you guys, like as you see, he's like basically sized you all up like very, very much. Like you see he's like eyes, like he's making eye contact, nodding, communicating, and like filing information, but like you can tell like he's already looked at every single angle of you guys, at this point, trying to size you up and like just trying to get a gauge of what's y'all's deal. But he says, yes, I'll be ready for you. If you need anything else, just come ask for me.
No, we're going to use your name to get a free room, so thanks. Thanks for that, though. That's great.
I will send word ahead to let them have you stay for free. Thank you. I fear I may have been a little over my head if you didn't come along. I thank you.
Looks like you're holding your own pretty good, but yeah, I agree. Ludo here and Morgen really got your back there. So we'll take that and we'll meet back up, I guess, in a little bit after we maybe take a nap. I don't know. Traveling sucks.
Welcome to Bazzoxan. He says that just like in like yeah.
Wait, inside check. It's a little sarcastically, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely tell. Like it's like with that like half-handed gesture of like, fuck, man. Like what the hell are we all doing here?
You
basically?
Sure you want to be here?
Yeah. Yeah, like it is. the bags under the eyes of a person who is barely managing to hold things together in any form of capacity. I think Aljin, without even rolling that insight up, he honestly, the mannerisms kind of remind you of your grandmother.
A little more wise than he gives away. Like he's making statements that are like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
He's being straight, matter of fact, but yeah, like you can tell, like just watching like the weight of authority on someone that you can immediately recognize.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
But yeah, and he says, let me give you directions, and you can find combinations there. I'm sorry, what was the rest of your names?
Oh, I'm he like fumbles for a second because he's trying to like, oh crap, what name to give. I'm a Finian Waverider. Just friend of Morgen here.
Yeah, and he says, if you don't mind, can you, any gestures, and like, can you mask hood down? We can't be too careful in this city.
Understandable.
We need to make sure we know who people are.
Huh? Yeah. Okay. And he goes, sure. And he like turns to go take it away, but he just sort of walks away to see if he like pushes the subject. And at that point, it would be like, oh, okay. And he like will go behind Ludo and pull the hood down, but like back toward the guy. Like absolutely like sort of be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And see if he's gonna make if he doesn't make a statement, then it's gonna be like,
yeah, are you doing it in like a deceptive manner, kinda?
It's a yeah, okay, I'll do that, and make sure he'll start to like put the hood down as he like then goes behind Ludo to like sort of skirt like the green hair, but he will put the hood down. He's going to keep the mask on of his back, especially since his back's to him right now.
Yeah, and like you can like he follows and like watches and like makes sure, and he says, we are pretty adamant about that in the city.
He'll put it down. He'll go between the horse and the large glowing moorbounder and like hide himself a little bit as he pulls the hood down, and he will pull the mask down. Sort of keep between the two large animals.
Yeah, and he definitely, yeah. You see, he notices, but like nods like as soon as he sees that, and he says that, and then the rest of you.
I am Ludo, champion of Avandra.
A prime deity, of course. The Changebringer, yes.
Yes.
Like I said, gods don't find their way to the city often, but we do, we are open to all that don't cause harm. Although you'll find more accommodations for the Luxon, of course.
On the contrary, my friend, the gods are here. You just have to have your eyes open and welcoming to them.
You'll probably find your way towards the temple at some point, and he points like off in the city, and you see there's like a weird like spirally building like that kind of looms over off like in one of the corners of the city, just like some weird like overgrown temple, or there's many artifacts of their past here, of course. And then you, my friend, and he looks at the little satyr sneaking around in the back.
Do. Oh, yes.
Arlo
Morningwood. Arlo Morningwood at your service.
I may call you Arlo.
My friends can call me Arlo, and we've been fighting, so that makes you my friend.
Well met. Well, as long as you all stay out of trouble and come with me, we'll help figure out whatever business you may have in the city after you get your rest in, and I can check on the rest of the town.
It says stay out of trouble, and Finn snickers a little bit. He's like, oh, sorry. we don't, okay, yeah, we don't do that real well. Okay.
All right, well. And then he, just kind of, has that, awkward, he's about to, give you that, roll out, commanding to, his troops of, okay, let's roll out. But, realizes, oh, you're not my troops, and and he, looks down at the body.
Saeryn slaps his knees and goes, Wilp, over to the ready room.
And you see he just kind of walks over to where, that corpse is and just, kneels down over it and just, takes a pose of mourning before he slowly picks it up, and, you guys just scuttle right on by him as he does that.
I don't know if that's. I mean, I don't know if you do
maybe
that
take the
exactly.
other alley?
I mean,
I have a thing I would like to do.
Yes. No, of course.
Can we loot the corpse? Loot the corpse.
Reanimates the corpse.
Oh my
and
god!
waves
Could you
and
imagine?
walks away.
I'll bring your friend back. Group.
Sorry, man. I just was playing dead, and walks away.
But yeah, you have a thing.
Yeah. I just wanted to cast Druidcraft and maybe bring some flower petals or something. Very just kind of sentimental and maybe pretty the area up around him or something, and then just kind of turn and walk back.
And he sees that, and he's and you see he's that silent, solemn respect that he appreciates it. He's like, thank you. We will inter the body at the crematorium later, and he points up, gestures towards where the building with the large smokestacks coming out, and he says, I'm sure if there are any other fallen, and if there's any rites you would perform, that would be appreciated.
It is my job to respect the dead. So
I'll send word of your arrival later.
if you need any of my services, you have just but to ask.
And he nods, picks up the body, says, May the light be with you. And he takes a big sigh and just begins to walk off with the corpse of his fallen comrade, and leaves you in this dusty street. You guys don't walk past him. I just saw Morgen start walking up. I'm like, oh, they're just okay. Sorry.
Sort of regroup a little bit, wait for everything to go down. All right, so he gave us the name of the ready room. He said he was going to call ahead. It sounds like worst case scenario, we have free rooms. I mean, even if we have to pay for food, that's better than we were literally 5 minutes ago.
Joaquin.
Yo. Oh,
Hey.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that damn bird. I forgot about it.
Did I miss it again?
No, I have something for you to do, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. What can I do for you?
That gentleman that we just interacted with, would you follow him around for the day and just kind of be sure that he's doing good? I just want to get a general sense of who he is and what he does. If he does anything super spectacular, let me know. But yeah, keep an eye on him if you could.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be such a good bird. He won't even see me. And then as you see, he goes and takes wing. There is actually you see a bunch of ravens, crows, blackbirds. Yeah, I mean, oh shit, there's a bunch on this map. I mean,
Yeah, I was looking at them. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was just he blends right into a dime a dozen kettle and pot. Yeah, he takes off, and I would say go ahead. You can make this. If you want to make him more unseen, like, try and like blend in, you can make it a stealth roll. Or if you're trying to be like, I want to get information and like perceive through that way, then you can make it like a perception check at advantage, but risk of being obvious.
Yeah. I don't think that he or that I would care too much if he kind of like caught on that he was like being watched. The information I think is a little more valuable to me.
Awesome. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I'll do the perception.
Yeah, and with familiar, so you'll be rolling through your stats, right? Or do you roll through theirs?
I think I actually roll through theirs. Let me find.
I think it's through their stats on those, but
I know. I'm not sure if you're able to find it up easily. We had to do some weird stuff to get you access to some of those spells.
Yeah. I'm using the Roll20 stuff, so it should be pretty easy.
But yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe crows probably have decent perception. They're or raven, whatever.
Let's see. Appearing. Okay.
and it's every time you
I
summon that thing, I picture the Sandman, the comic / TV show, the Sandman, like
yeah.
the crow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's best I can do. I'm not Taliesin Jaffe.
It's actually pretty good. Talison's is fantastic. That's pretty good though. I'm pretty happy with that one.
It looks like I'll use it.
I
guess Raven. Yep, Raven. So this is a +3 perception.
All right. Easy enough. Yeah, sorry to bug that down for that. Ooh.
All good. 22.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, you feel he's going to be following and doing stuff like that. Let me just... We want above a 13 here. All right, you guys, you send Jackeen off and have him start following. And we will move on. You guys got anything else here at the moment in this space? As you see the oozing corpses of these creatures just kind of, like bleed and slough off and start drying and rotting out in the streets. You see the people of the city start moving about as the alarm bells have finally silenced, and throngs of guards are running through the streets now, and you see that bit of action of chaos after some sort of event has happened, where people you see a little bit of life come back into the city, and you were given directions in the city of where to go. So actually, new map.
Whoa.
So you guys probably got here within the city before this all happened, I'm gonna say. Not that far in. He had given you the ready room is you go off down the street and into the center square, and you'll be able to find the sign of where you needed. The crematorium, the smokestacks he had pointed out, is up ahead. Up here, up into the mountain where the stairs go up, is to where that Betrayer's Rise is. You see there's a large fallen obelisk fallen throughout the city that crumbles through a couple blocks, buildings and rubble falling underneath. Who knows how long that's been there. You can see it peeking over, and remember, these buildings are all sleek, short, squat, militaristic, high, with the slanted peaked roofs with that rafter style fallen rooftop. Everything is ergonomic, purpose driven, no waste or frivolity as you're marching back through the streets and making your way. As you get in towards the center of town, you see there's these giant, large, basically like mechanical pits that are dug into the ground. Where at the bottom you see like these large jagged teeth and blades, like blades that look like teeth. That like it's almost like a blender that falls in funnels all the way down into like a narrow point. And this thing is like 20 feet wide. And you walk past that grizzly, whatever the fuck that is, as you keep making your way into the city. What do y'all do?
I don't want to be anywhere near that pit. So
I think Ludo wants to kind of try to look in and see if he can discern what that pit is used for.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a perception check, and then add on your religion modifier.
Plus 13.
So 13. So with that, yeah, there's these 30-foot deep pits, and like as you get closer and take a peek in, you see it's lined with rows of silver blades. That's the metal that these are in. And then you see, you're like, silver blades. These are built to toss demons into.
Nice.
Yeah, you just see like a practical efficiency in the design. Like you notice that there are mechanical bits and engine that like these parts and blades can actually move and spin. You see, notice that there's actually a lever like on the far side of a platform where like there's like a small like guard post right next to.
Does it look like these have been used recently?
With that perception, it's hard to tell. They look clean. Although you imagine if there's been more than what you guys encounter in the city today, then they might probably be being used soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make your way into that town square. To the left, there's another row of stretch. There's like a long, like a big wall with a bunch of like, designs and stuff scrawled into it, and a bunch of like decorations and adornments all around it. Rows of buildings, a few throngs of people, mostly guards. At one point, as you're walking through, you actually when you pass this like a little marketplace building, and there's this older drow woman, like her hair graying a little bit. You can see like the age and worry lines on her face, and she's like just sitting like on a little bench, just like giving a little sandwich to like her child, and she's just like, and remember, if anything ever happens to me, you go to the temple, the Luxon. They'll take care of you. They'll find a place for you. Don't forget about your brother at home. We have the ready bag for you. And you see the child just like kind of looking off in a daze, just like eating a sandwich. She's like, yes, I know, mother. I know. I remember the drills. And then you guys just keep walking on past that.
Are these like does it look like homeless?
Just
homeless
commoners,
people?
just people, just citizens, civilians. Like, like it looks like she just has like a little basket of like market goods and like groceries and stuff at her feet.
Gotcha.
But, like, you notice there's like a dagger, like a sheath like at her belt. Like you see even like she's not unarmed. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Cool.
It gives you just a sense of what the people in the city feel and expect.
It seems that for some place that is so prized for its safety, the residents here seem very uneased.
Maybe they didn't spare it for misfortune.
I wonder if it's a more recent development rather than something that's been going on for historically long periods of time. But I'm sure we'll get that information sooner or later. What say you guys? Do you want to go get cleaned up a bit, get refreshed, and then try and find that guy again?
The
I forgot his
Tascan?
name already. Yep.
Oh yeah. Perfect. I also just realized I kind of got carried away. We should probably do a break, huh? I just realized it's been like a good two hours straight. Yeah, you guys begin making your way, and you have the easy directions. You see it across the square to that ready room. It's a large barn with a steeply pointed roof, leaning over battered structures near the center of town. Over the double door hangs a sign that bears the tavern's name, the Ready Room, in Undercommon, Orc, Goblin, and Common, for those who all recognize those scripts. And we'll go at break there.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna go feed a cat real quick. Be right back.
Gibbering mouthers.
Gibbering
Those are
mouth.
not
Oh,
fun
Those things were not
creatures.
fun.
No, I
Yeah.
forgot. Like, yeah, I didn't even read their. Like, I knew they sucked, but I'm like, oh yeah, they're not good to play.
And
against.
it seemed like a lot of them.
Book is raw is stupid sometimes. Actually,
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. It was fun. It was fun.
no,
It was time.
good battle. BRB.
All right.
Alrighty. We back. Oh no, did my music end?
Didn't loop it.
I didn't loop it.
You didn't loop it. You didn't hit
Left
the little
y'all in
loop button.
silence. How
We're all
dear.
just sitting in silence.
Suffered. Everyone else back?
Yeah.
Hey! I hear an XX back. Alright. Maybe a Ludo?
The only question mark is Raymond.
I mean, everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody does love him. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's a really neat concept. I think someone could really do something with that. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's
I mean, it'd have to be like a spin-off of like Everybody Loves Chris, you know?
it seems like a proper way to go with it. Yeah, and the only way people accept it.
All right.
I love
Yeah,
how
we gotta. Yeah, I was about to say we gotta stop that conversation before I get into racial
yep,
slander
yep,
on
yep,
the
yep,
live stream.
I love how like the maps you see online are like perfect, beautiful maps, and these are like, we'll just make some squigglies for houses and put in a little block and just draw some lines. And sure, everyone will love that, and we're okay with that.
Yep. I honestly, because like, even if they did have as many resources and like a bunch of the other stuff, I'm like, still, I would have drawn some squares for y'all.
Yeah. It's one of those things like I have like when I'm making maps, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this and this and this and this and this. And I'm looking at these maps like, man, I need to lower my standards. I need to lower my own personal standards for this. Hey, there we go. We vamped enough. Ludo's back.
I mean, this is official release, you know. This is
No,
just
I know
ship
that's
this.
the thing. That's the thing. I'm like sitting there staring at this. I'm like, maybe, maybe I need to lower my standards of how I make maps.
I don't know. Honestly, maybe we can just like make our own content at this point.
Maybe.
I hear that satisfying.
Needed some water. It was good.
That's not what I needed. Well, I guess it's a Miller Lite. It's a Miller Lite. It's very much water. It's just like water.
It's beer flavored water.
I just drank 2 beers that were 9%. I think I should probably drink a Miller Lite for my water intake.
All right. I just realized, do we have actual nice in music? Have we done anything that nice yet in this campaign?
Oh, no. We went from... It's good. Oh, no. Computer, stay awake.
It's about as westerny as we can get.
It's nice.
Okay, with all of that, you could all make your way up into that ready room. Again, it's basically that like barn-like structure with that steeply pointed roof that looms over these battered structures near the center of the town, over the double doors with that sign reading the name The Ready Room in Undercommon, Orc, Goblin, and Common.
All right, I can read one of these languages. Who can read more than Common at this point on this door? I assume what they all mean. But who can read more than one?
I can read the Undercommon.
Huh?
He points it out.
How about you, Morgan? Do you know any more than just Common?
From the list here, the Undercommon as well.
Okay, how about Saeryn? You got more than just common and undercommon, or just the two? Only, I mean, if you can read common and undercommon, I guess you guys should probably take the point, because if, you notice that they're talking different, or if they're talking more than common, or if, it'd be better for someone who can walk in speaking undercommon to maybe let them know that we're here because the task hand sent us, and, he should have called ahead. I'm thinking before we walk in there and sort of like announce that we're out of towners, maybe have a plan.
So do you suggest we walk in speaking Undercommon together?
Well, I mean, maybe not together, but like maybe have one person be the point, and then there's the two of you taking the point as on this adventure here of trying to get us a room. Which the stakes seem a little lower than rescuing a baby from a demon creature, but no. Try not to seem so outsider.
Say no more. Say no more. Ludo steps up and opens the door and walks in.
Grabs Saeryn, I'm like, you ready for this? This is gonna be fun. Come on. Put my arm around Saeryn.
Amazing. Alright, you guys walk on into the room. As you make your way in, let me get rid of this, and this. Sitting in the room as you make your way into the inn. Let me find my spot. Notes. Behind the bar as you enter, you see there's two figures that seem to be like either behind the bar or one like moving their way in and out of the kitchen. A couple drow, male and a female. Around the ground floor, there's piles of like all sorts of tools, lantern, shovels, ladders, and the like. Dozen wooden stalls that have been turned into these curtained sleeping quarters, each one holding these 5 wooden cots. There's a rope and pulley system that functions like an elevator, allowing access to the spacious loft up above, where the proprietors have equipped a bar and surrounded with 24 stools that are mostly occupied by patrons that you see. And behind the bar, cooking with the stove, is the male, and then there's a curtain behind the bar that seems to conceal some sort of office behind, where you see another figure, like the female form, goes and like with a handful of like stacks of like orders and stuff, and goes and organizes some stuff in the back. Sitting around, there's just like an assortment you see sitting at the bar, like a bunch of like peer like Aurora Watch members sitting like in their garb, like half off and doffed, helmets and everything loosened and relaxing, enjoying a few drinks. You see like a couple people are now starting to filter back in after like all the chaos. It seems like that call to attention, and now like here's like the moment where everyone's like, okay, fucking like, god damn it, yet again, all right, back to what we were doing. What, like, that type seems to be the energy in the room at the moment. There's also another tiefling is like sitting at like a table by themselves, and just like going through a bunch of like documents and paperwork, it seems like.
All right. Well, Ludo will start to make his way towards approaching whoever looks most appropriate to get a room from, and start speaking in like that guttural, like dark undercommon. It's kind of just kind of saying, greetings. My friends and I were sent here by the local task hand and were promised a free room in this inn.
And you see the male drow who's behind the bar, and he's like looks up. He's like, "Huh? What is that?"
The local task hand. We helped dispatch some mouthers, and we were promised a room in this inn.
Ah, and he says like, "What's that? I didn't hear anything about that." And then you hear the lady, the drow, call out from the back. She's like, "They're fine."
You didn't hear anything about it, which means we did our jobs.
And then you see she comes walking out, and there's like actually a piece of paper like in her hand. She's just like, "The message just came in." And she looks at the guy. Let me double check what his name is. Shit. She's like, "Delez, the task hand sent them notice ahead. They're okay." And she's just like typical drow, like the white hair, it's like pulled back up in a bun as well. But she's like wearing more of like fine, like type of like suit, whereas he's like the male behind the bar is like, wearing like the apron of the kitchen staff, his like hair a little bit more matted and sweaty, and he like kind of the first he's like, oh, okay, I got the room for you. So what happened?
Still in Undercommon, Ludo just talks about how they entered the city. We entered the city and we saw two of your guards, one of them being the task hand, being attacked by some gibbering mouthers. So we jumped in and we helped fight them back.
Oh.
Unfortunately, one of the guards succumbed to his injuries, but the task hand survived and referred us to this fine establishment.
Well, we really are the only establishment in town, so makes sense. But I imagine you're gonna want some rooms, a bath, food, drinks?
That would be fantastic.
Well, don't know why you came to this God's forsaken city, but we will ply you. So, we're gonna get 5 cuts or 4 cuts.
Perfect. Thank you, friend.
Awesome. And I think tonight, and he looks back and he's just like, we have bowl of rice and fish. That'll be 2 copper apiece. If you want beer, 1 copper apiece.
Ludo looks towards the group and in common relays the menu. Rice and fish and beer.
And if you need any general goods, we also run a store out the back, and you can talk to my sister Prima for that. We're the Damonas. Welcome to the ready room. And he goes and gets a little round rolling for y'all.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
And he goes and gets you a little table. You got guys. I mean, there's still plenty of room. There's not too much, in the way of like hard to find room, because people have been able to, people are still either working, getting back from the day, or haven't refilled in yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I myself am excited for this rice and fish here. The food that I make every day is tasteless, but sustaining. So it'd be good to get something at least that tastes.
Well,
I'll,
you haven't had it.
I'll at least take the rooms and some food and rounds for at least for a little bit. And I look at the guy who just said, or in common, look at the guy and say that. I'm like, I'll just you said it was some copper. How much was it for the cots and the food for a night?
Oh, yeah, the two copper apiece each, right? And he starts counting one,
perfect.
2, 3, and then you hear Prima call out from the back, "The rooms were free."
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. And then he starts handing you that copper back that you handed for it.
No problem. I'm gonna hand you, and I'm gonna pull out 3 gold pieces. I'm gonna hand you these, and I want you to bring us drinks and food until we tell you to stop. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. Because it's so long, and warm baths, and if you have them, I mean, like, do you have like a big single? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like warm water and anything like that outside, inside.
And he so it's like you look around the room and there's like where that like raised platform and there's like the bar up above, and then like there's cots down at the bottom. So you guys are like there's like, yeah, get you drinks up at the bar up there, and then and then he points to like the back, and there seems to be like an off room, and it's like kind of like a curtain that goes to like an off like wooden shelter, like outhouse type room basically, that like this one's like a shower function, and like he's like, we can heat up the water tank for you when you're ready to go.
And one more copper and be like, yeah, we'll just take that for a while. Just why don't you just clear out anybody else who's not like these people here? Cool. Hit him another gold.
I will let them know that
Thank you.
Very important people are here.
Perfect. That sounds great. But yeah, drinks for my buddies here and food as much as they want. I'll just take the rice bowl. No fish. Thank you.
Yes, and he says, yes, perfect, and I can get something else going if you want anything more than rice.
I mean, vegetables, rice, be fine. If you have anything that's not fish, great. Yeah, I could use a soak in some water, so I'm gonna go that like toward where they said there was like a curtain with like that. I'm gonna head that way. Kind of just need to be not dirty at this point.
Love that, yeah. You know, go to start washing off as everyone gets their food and their stuff. It's the rice kind of mushy, the fish a little overcooked.
That makes sense too.
You know, when they think, you know, blackened, you know, usually means like seasoned, crusted. They kind of just blacken it.
A few minutes, like a little bit later, I come back out, like feeling better. You know, still. I think the hood would be up a little bit, the mask would be off, but like redressed, looking a little more loose at this point, being fed and probably taking a beer into or at least an ale into the bath with me. Come back out feeling pretty good. Be like, hey guys, it's actually not too bad if you guys like, you know, take one of these with you or a couple of these with you and just hang out for a minute. It's not terrible.
Water's got warm.
Yeah, I mean, better than what we had in no water land, which was yesterday.
Amazing.
How are the tubs kept warm? Is the water kept warm at all, or is it just kind of like splashed in there?
Yeah, so it seems like it's actually more of just like it's like a gravity pump, and it's like a shower fall down type system with like a tank that does like, they put like a couple of like braziers and stuff underneath to heat the water up. So it seems like they have like some like tank that like has like the coals and stuff that they have that heat, and then it like falls down on that, so it's more of like a shower.
Yeah, that's fine. I was trying to figure out if I could use control flames to do something with it, but not apparently.
I mean, yeah. So like the
I could
like
put
the
it
water
out.
in the tank. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can't heat the flames.
Yeah, it doesn't get hotter.
Fair. Cold beer, hot water.
Yeah, I think it's time to go for a shower beer in that case. Saeryn pushes the bowl of blackened fish and mushy rice and does. You know what? I didn't think I would really miss the way they do it in the Menagerie Coast, but damn, just damn. And then he picks up an ale and starts heading over to the shower.
I like. It really is like, all right, we're finally to a city. Here's the expectations. Things are finally maybe going to get a little better.
Immediately attacked by gibbering mouthers, and the food isn't very good. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Well, at least the food isn't good here. I'm sure we'll find some other place.
So it seems like food's not great, but they have beer. They have beer. Let's just deal with that.
The beer is. Oh, go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
No, sorry.
I feel like Morgan is actually enjoying this terrible food because she ran out of rations at the Emerald Loop and then started just using that create food and water spell to sustain her until now. Like, I've permanently marked off a level 3rd spell slot for this until today. And
amazing.
It's I picture that, she creates this beautiful feast, like these nice looking dinners, and then you take a bite and it tastes like nothing. So she just had days of nothing. Like, maybe we just had Thanksgiving, so maybe she had like this big turkey, you bite into it and it's just like sand tasting, and I'm just like, ugh. She's so tired of that. I don't think she would care what this fish and rice tastes like. It's better than nothing.
Oh, would you call it Soylent Grey?
Yes, I would.
Soylent Grey is made of. Oh, you don't want to know what it's made of.
Mouthers.
I mean, where do you think the dead people go? But yeah, so you guys get your shower beers, your food. At one point, you notice one tiefling lady, just like red skin, horns, and she's just got a bunch of papers, and she's drawing furiously in a little sketchbook. And she looks up from the table and goes to all right, sorry, I gotta make a choice here real quick.
Oh no!
What does she sound like?
That's the best. Oh, guys, the best thing for DM to say, hold on, I gotta make a choice real quick.
Yeah, no, it's
befriend you or murder you. It's the choice I gotta make.
Yeah, she just says, Barkeep, can I get another round? And it's just this thick, deep, not trying to make it different from Io. Not sure if it came through that way, but it's just his accent. And as she goes to raise her hand and call over, she just goes and spills over the tanker that she has there, and it goes clatters and wobbles on the ground. But it's a metal dented tankard, so it's doesn't shatter or anything. And she's just oh, outside. And then they go over and just clean up the mess. And she's if you've seen a red tiefling blush before. It's very impressive.
Got an insider to see if she did that on purpose.
As you're looking over at that insight, it might be actually a little bit more of a clumsiness, but it was she was doing it in a way where she was trying to subtly, like, you're looking at the angle of the table she's sitting at and the angle of where you guys are sitting, and you see in like how she like goes to hastily cover up, like it wasn't an intentional like draw attention, but like her movement might have been, she like might have been trying to like, you know, shift over for a peek, and that might have been like an accidental bump, and you know, kind of blew up her spot. Like you definitely notice there's like that embarrassed, like anxious energy from that. Just, you know, a little curiosity perhaps.
All right, I think Ludo will look over, smile, and wave at the tiefling.
And she like goes and makes eye contact with you. She just like gives such a like, oh, hey, and then like head down at her papers, and then like looks back over, and then she's like, well, suppose you want to buy me another round.
And then just a long, drawn-out stare. Yeah, yeah, get you another round. And I'm gonna subtle spell detect thoughts.
All right, yeah. So you go to cast that, and you're trying to do surface, or you're trying to delve?
Surface, please.
Awesome. It's, I think the first thing you get is like an actual sense of like curiosity. That's a little too much. You know,
It's a little intense, yeah.
No, we're not that happy. Sorry, y'all. What you get immediately is curiosity first and foremost. She's looking at you. The thought is, how does this fit into the puzzle? Like you know, someone that's like looking at something, like they know, like, all right, this looks significant, but I don't know how or why. And you get a phrase in your head, basically like mythic resonance. And then basically an overriding like, oh god, I fucked up. Like, you know, like I can't, like, oh, I'm so clumsy. I was trying to be careful and like just take a peek. But what comes to your head is there's images of the moons, religious iconography. The Betrayer's Rise is looming forefront in her head above everything else.
Are there have we seen other tieflings, either like throughout our walk through the city or in this inn?
Maybe not in the city directly, but it's like you only seen a handful of people so far. Like they most of them been like wearing helmets, but it's been like a common, you know, assortment of drow, orcs, goblins, you know, all sorts of various creatures. But yeah, like tieflings definitely don't seem to be uncommon. You know, you saw a handful in Chagao. There was the one that you encountered on the road that you guys weren't able to save, that Auntie Jawler had referred to as Justice.
Gotcha.
Sort of nudge. Go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say, you know, like tieflings is just like, for whatever various from the calamity left over, there are just, that is a generally accepted nature around. Not super common, but definitely more common here in the Jorhaus Wastes.
Sort of nudge Ludo after I see him like sort of wave and her make that comment, like sort of make a comment. I'd be like, nudge Ludo and quietly be like, well, that's an interesting choice for you. Yeah, wait, come and sit with us. and like sort of give him a little prodding of like, interesting paladin who likes the tiefling. Wave that tiefling. Wait, come on, sit. I mean, I've bought enough rounds for my friends. I mean, you could be friend, right? I mean, we are new in the area. Wait, come and sit. We're new in the area. We should. Are you local?
And she says, she's like, oh, yeah, and so she like starts pulling up like all of her like bags, like rolls up a couple of like those scrolls and papers, and like her sketchbook stuff's in her bag, and she comes rolling up. She's like, yeah, the name is Question.
Oh,
nice
right.
to meet
Do I
ya.
have anything on the detect thoughts from that?
I mean, you're not able to detect anything. Are you trying to insight?
Yeah, I'll insight.
Yeah. Are you seeing, is that a real name?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
divine.
because she stuttered. I'm wondering if something's going on in her brain while I'm detecting her thoughts.
So basically, as she comes up, she's like taking over this motley crew, and then as she her eyes glaze over on Ludo. Actually, you see like besides looking at that expressed concerned look that is on the shield of expression, she sees the symbols of Avandra, and then probably her eyes linger on with like the Raven Queen, and then Aljin. Do you have anything visible of Saeryn on you?
He has an amulet of Saeryn, but it's not always prevalent. At this point, being in here, he would have had it tucked in, like away, knowing that these people are like not always that. So he would have it. He would have it pulled in his cloak in a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, so she's like, her eyes definitely linger on that like Avandra symbology of iconography that Ludo has, and you hear that like phrase, this like mythic resonance.
Okay.
And then she says, who are you all?
I am Ludo.
Ludo, are you a worshipper?
I am.
She says, aye. Tell me I feel it too, she says with a little grin. My comrades don't, but I do. The history surrounding this place, the romance of heroes, fighting against impossible odds, sacrificing everything for the sake of defending the world. All done, but people who would never know them, never think of them, never be able to thank them, simply because it was the right thing to do. And ages later, we see the Aurora Watch somehow doing the same, and they don't even know it.
'Tis a noble deed.
I thought you understand it. You caught my attention.
Well, you caught our attention with your accidental spill of the drinks.
I always been a little clumsy.
Nothing wrong with being curious, friend.
Is he? And I mean, he could roll whatever he wants. I'm like, at this point, I'm like sitting behind him, watching this. Like, he never does this, and like looking at him, looking at her, I'm like, this is weird.
So, here, actually, before you say anything,
okay.
Huh?
here's what she looks like. Long, bushy hair coming down, red horns, big, large, framed glasses with these like big blue piercing eyes. She has this like large book and the scrolls tucked around in these like large, like almost like monastic type robes with like her tiefling tail swishing around in the back, and you see there's like edges of trim of blue along her robes.
That's cool. Yeah, she doesn't look very threatening. I posted the Divine Sense. I wanted to use a detect good and evil on her.
Yeah. So what is that? Like, are you, like, because that's, like, going to be, like, an action with, like, a divine energy that's surrounding it, you know? So basically, like, a person walks up to you, and you're like, all right, hey, cool, and then divine energy washes out. Like, I will say, like, you are aware, like, it is very, very obvious when you do a divine sense that people are like, oh, you're doing some, like, deity shit right now. What are you, you know?
Yeah. I think he'll kind of, like, try to play it off a little bit by taking a swig of his ale and almost, like, belching and making it look like an accidental, like, burst of like
Lights up.
yeah.
All right, go ahead, roll a deception check.
Oh god, this never happened before. I swear this never.
Deception or sleight of, yeah, I'd say deception or sleight of hand. And she says, well, excuse you, that's rude. And it's like her eyes are drawn off of that, like a little cover up is like your amulet, like with the other hand, you kind of cover up that little boom, that flash of divine energy that washes off from your, coin of Exandria. And detect divine sense, you're detecting infernal, undead, or celestial.
Yeah, but I'm specifically looking for. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so I can use my awareness to detect such forces. I guess I just want to see if there's like any presence of like anything evil.
Well, I mean,
within
like,
her.
I mean, yeah, you like. Well, she definitely gives off an infernal energy.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's like any tiefling does. You would know. If from any interaction or study in the past, like it's just like
Right.
there's a whatever infernal legacy in the genetics passed on,
Yeah, but
I
guess I'm looking more for like I think Ludo would know that naturally, but like
yeah.
I think he would maybe know that it would be a stronger sense of that if this person was inherently evil. Other than just like the traces of the background.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's good. It basically you're just able to detect the energy of the presence of, but like, there's no, sometimes there can be varying degrees, but yeah, you're just getting like, just infernal.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
I think,
like an alarming level or anything.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it's it maybe even a character flaw at this point, but I think Ludo just inherently thinks everybody is good until they show him that they're not good.
No, perfect. Now, because I will say with that insight you're looking at, like there's not, like anything she's saying seems like very genuine and like a little far-fetched and wild, but and she says like, and how are the rest of youth?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi.
Yeah, you said your name was Christian? What brings you all the way up to Bazzoxan?
Well, me and my colleagues, we came out to inspect today the Betrayer's Rise, We had a mission and got a little sick and I had to come back to the inn. But my colleagues are, preparing to, I let them go on ahead. I got, the city is rife with history. It's, the gods and the calamity. And, she pulls out her, like, sketchbook and she's just like, I've conducted, research with the Cobalt Sol and Ankarel. And I've, and she shows you a picture, and it's a sketch of an island bathed in the moonlight of Catha and Rudis, the moons both full. The island is covered with trees and marble pillars with crystal shards that you guys are looking at. And the island looks familiar. It almost looks like the Emerald Grotto, but like the pillars and the crystal shards look unfamiliar. But underneath it, she flips the page, and there's a rough drawing of, it almost looks like the jewel of 3 prayers that Io has been wearing around her neck, but like a larger, more emboldened version with like delicate spires inlaid with stones around it. And then this one catches your attention. She flips another page. Sorry. I had to clear my throat. A rubbing of a symbol that depicts this long-haired woman peering off into the distance. You notice this immediately, Ludo and Saeryn. Ludo, this looks like it's like the hair that peers off into the distance. She's like looking off. It looks like the symbol and iconography of Exandria. Saeryn, this looks like the lady that you gambled against, that almost cleared you out, that you eventually won on that one night before you left. It's the same exact face, with like the eyes almost like peering off into the distance, the soft features of the nose, and that hair that just like every time you glanced out of your periphery just seemed to like run off, but then whenever you actually like focused in, it would just be like a generic long-haired lady.
There's some very good drawings, sweetheart.
The other ones were mine, but this one, it was... I took the carving from... rubbing from a wall carving up at the gates of the Betrayer's Rise.
Interesting. What about that amulet you got there in the drawing of?
I found a picture of us in old scrolls and documents about the calamity and the battle of Gordranus, and here at the Umbra Gates. Back in the calamity.
So what is it?
I think it's a lost vestige. Aljin, you can make a history check. Morgen, you can make a history check.
+0.
Yeah. The term vestige, it rings a bell. Aljin, you think you actually did hear a phrase once, vestige of divergence, in reference to something, that you heard your grandmother talking about them, ages ago in one of those lectures.
Sort of half toned in, half not. It just sort of one of those things that brings it back a memory. You're like, I've heard this.
And she looks at the confusion on your face. She's like, you have vestiges of divergence?
It sounds familiar, but I don't really. What are they?
Powerful artifacts, gifts, weapons that the gods had created back in the day of the calamity. They were weapons given to heroes to fight for the people in truth and justice against the betrayer gods.
All the prime deities had a vestige of some sort that they gave to champion. Is something similar to that? Like bits and pieces are sort of coming back, but it's not like 100% clear.
Because it's very loose connected. The nature that goes around the Shari. So you wouldn't have known the full thing, but
bits and pieces.
Morgen, that kind of does catch your attention now. You do know, back in the Shadow Belt ancient times, there was artifact. Like there was an artifact item that the Raven Queen had gifted to who is her champion. And that he wears the mantle, the cloak of ravens that he wears as her emblem.
Well, question. I do seem to know about a vestige. The cloak of the Raven Queen?
Oh, yeah. Yes, that one's really well recorded in the documents. There was a recent hero, actually, that is said to have ascended. It reminded me, that's why I found it. There's a folk ballad. It was written in Undercommon, and it speaks of an unnamed halfway god, a champion who was given so much power by the three of the prime deities during the calamity, he nearly became a divine himself.
Quite an interesting story.
Why didn't he become divine?
Oh, what is that?
Why didn't he become divine?
That's a great question. We don't even know how it is. It's just stories. This is just like a snippet of a ballad I found in a scroll. But I have a hunch that mythic resonance.
What's mythic resonance?
These lingering acts of great importance, they have a weight on the place of the prime material plane, and it causes a cyclical nature. I believe that's what's happening here in Baxxozan. We are fighting the same war that the heroes of the calamity were fighting all those years ago.
I think we might be a little bit outclassed compared to them. But sure.
Well, that's why I came here with my partners. We came to delve into the dries, but you know, they don't just let anybody in there. I felt a little ill, so I had to come back. It's a lot up there.
That's good to know.
Are your partners still up?
Yeah, and you, even with your, insight, she's like, I, kind of falters for a moment. I haven't come back yet.
Anything from Detect Thoughts?
You know inside her head, she recalls, all you're seeing is fog in a bridge, but you hear voices calling to her from deep within the fog, and basically you get in the sense that the embarrassment of someone who's trying to hide the fact that they instantly broke and ran away. I had to come back here, but well, we had to get in before the other group, the newcomers, before they got to do their delve.
What other group?
Oh, I thought maybe you'd all arrived at around the same time. You'd been. There's a group of other adventurers. Can't remember what they were calling themselves, but I hear they're planning to do a delve in tomorrow.
Was their leader like a blue-faced, darker hair lady?
I haven't heard. I haven't seen them.
I don't know.
But
Okay.
I heard there's a new group in town, and they were staying up at the Hythenos estate.
That sounds way nicer than where.
They got an entire estate.
I mean, sounds way nicer than we're at. I mean,
That's what one of the Danes that help one of the wealthy Danes in the city. And you guys know Danes like refers to like city, family clan. Yeah, so it's like it's Den Thalis would be the what they refer to as which Aaron, do you want to roll a real life history check?
Oh man. Let's see it. I'm just gonna roll a d20 to see if I know what that means. Because no, 6. When you said Dane Thalis, I'm like, oh man, it sounds so familiar.
Den Thalis.
Oh, Dane Thalis. So many. It's been at least a year.
Yeah,
at least probably a year and a half. It sounds familiar, but I cannot remember what part of Crit Roll that is in.
No worries.
But back in game, I'm like, where would they, like, in this area, or is that like a different spot, like the Danes in like a different location than like normal city? Have like a
they're
special...
off in the lofty houses, off on the east side. And then you guys like notice like when you first came in, like some of the houses like in the rising hills that like led up to the mountains on the east, like bigger, larger, more like mansions, expanses. Any large enough town's gonna have its more wealthy area, like as you get the gist of.
So nicer side of town. Well, first things first. I mean, Thor and I round drinks.
What do you all know about the Joe?
About the what?
What do you all know about the jewel? Is that what you called this? That one? And she points to the sketch of the jewel of 3 pairs you guys had pointed out.
I call it an amulet.
Oh yeah. What do you know of the amulet?
Sort of looking at Saeryn at this point, like, yeah, what do you want? What do you know?
What do we say we know?
What do we say we know? Is that
was
like
just interested
back
in something
to
as is any y'all delve down there? Maybe are you going looking for something like that?
There's stories of all sorts of hidden artifacts, vestiges, even arms of the betrayer. Arms of the betrayers. Sorry, with the plural.
Mostly looks like a pretty rock to me.
Well, I feel I found a sketch of that, and it feels important, significant to whatever's going on here. It's said to have been filled with divine power during the calamity from multiple sources.
multiple
Multiple
prime
sources.
gods, like multiple prime gods, or like
it was divine. With... The prime deities. There's the stories of these objects, the vestiges, but this ballad, it speaks of someone who had a gift of... If all these stories are told of champions, and she points to Morgen, that had one vestige, one blessing from one god, why don't we know anything about this guy? This champion who supposedly had multiple. That's what we're here to find.
I feel like, too, the more power you have, the larger the target you have on your back. If I was a champion of a god with multiple things that granted me power, I would probably also want to keep my identity a bit hidden. I wouldn't want the average Joe just to walk on up and be like, "Hey, yo, it's Morgen Megen, like the champion of whoever."
Security through anonymity.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a rather smart tactic.
Well, that's assuming all stories from the Calamity had happy endings.
That's true too. Not to mention just the validity of the stories too. You know, perhaps some of the events that were written down might never have even happened, or maybe not happened as described either.
You would do good at the Cobalt Soul, I believe. That's exactly our purpose.
Uncovering the mysteries of the past,
The truth.
the truth.
Order secrets. And also secrets that might need to be kept secret.
Do you have a friend named Secret?
I've been looking for her my whole life. What a pair we would make. And you see, she kind of like smiles at that a little wistfully. Who has passive insight of 12 or higher?
Morgan's passive insight. 17.
Ludo's is 13.
Awesome. So Ludo and Morgan will see it. Nearby, kind of like a table or two, and then like a small bar, and like there's not that much room in between you, and you see a figure, an elven figure, wearing scarlet robes, and honestly, with Ludo and Morgan, it's obvious how much they are eavesdropping right now. They're just like looking over, like leaned in with their ear towards you, like mug like half cocked to their face. This like female elven figure. And she just like listening on in and just like takes a quick little sip and then just sits there and keeps just keeps listening in.
Well, Ludo in Elvish is going to say, "It's not very polite to eavesdrop."
And you see like sharp eyes just kind of look over at you and a little smirk basically back, and then she just goes on and keeps on sipping. I'm just listening.
Is that in common or is that in Elvish?
Elvish.
Okay. Check.
You seem very invested in listening.
So do you like go over
Ludo,
and join her?
Ludo will sure. Yeah, he'll stand up and walk towards her. He has his drink though.
Awesome.
I'm looking at question. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's normally not like this. This is very weird for him to talk to multiple people and women at the same time.
and women.
I mean, I just thought, sorry, maybe it was me. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. As Ludo walks past, I'm like, I'm sorry.
No need for apologies, friend.
So question, she's like, well, that's all right. I mean, we are just talking right out in the open, and then she like kind of actually like shoots like a little dirty glance over at like the red cloaked figure, who like she now like notices that you like called attention to her, and she's like, I think I'd like to get settled down for the evening. Hopefully hear contact from my companions in the morning. I got lots of notes to go through, and what were your names again?
My name was Morgen Megen.
Morgen?
I'm Finian.
Finian?
I'm Ludo.
Ludo? Oh, Ludo, yeah, you walked away, so yeah.
You walked away.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's
nice to meet you. If you need me, I'll be staying here.
I think we're staying here for at least a little bit, and it depends on what happens, I guess, in the next couple, maybe hours or days. I don't know. Time's real weird right now. But
I feel you all have
here.
I feel you all have a importance in what's to come next.
That's odd, and it's sort of like I'm like at this point like unbuckling my cloak a little bit, and the amulet of Saeryn shows like almost purposely at this point. It's like I'm flipping the cloak.
So you are moon blessed.
Oh, this blessed is a strong term, I think.
The Moon Weaver. She's involved in all of this too.
Seems like a lot of the primes are in this right now. Looking around at my party, I'm like, there seems like a good mix of deities in here. We keep meeting other interesting people on our travels too, so I can't really pinpoint that it's just the Moonweaver.
I still haven't gone, but I know there's the dilapidated temple of Melora off on the west side of town.
Oh yeah?
I wonder what secrets the old gods might have there.
Whereabouts on the west side?
I'll click it on the map and she'll describe it. It's like around over on the mountain in the southwest by the gates. You look for the spirally building.
Okay, maybe we'll have to check that out too. I know we're supposed to meet up pretty soon with what was his name? Baron?
Thalos.
Baron?
The task hand, yeah.
Yeah, the task hand.
Of the Dane Thalos. Very important family.
Well, that's good.
Important in Roshani. I wonder why he ended up in this backwater town. So this isn't a happy place.
Well, it doesn't seem like this side of Exandria is a very pleasant or happy place, but I mean, it seems like everybody here is making do of what's going on, I guess. I mean,
The resilience of human survival. That mythic resonance. And she like taps her like head, you know, in that like meme, you know, think about it.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get retired. I'll catch y'all in the morning, maybe.
Oh, I'm okay.
Sounds good.
She'll goodbyes and all that. Finish up her beer, and you can definitely tell, a little clumsy in nature. You know, it's just awkward. while all that's happening, while you guys are finishing up that conversation, rewind a minute or two. Well, Ludo, you go and approach the elvish lady.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and you notice, it's like these scarlet, deep red robes that she's just like wearing, and it's like got like a little like almost like a French cap style that's like she's wearing over her head. And you see she just like kind of coyly sips into her beer and like puts it down and looks at you while you approach. Well?
Did you hear anything interesting? And he like takes a sip of his beer.
Well, I heard the blubbering of a coward and awkward attempts at prying information from a bunch of newcomers in town.
And what would you have done differently to pry that information?
Do you like gold?
Most people do.
Well, that trick usually works then, doesn't it?
I would suppose it would. But say you don't have the gold.
And she just like fleshes in her pocket and pulls out a little sack, and you hear like the little clink of coin underneath.
So what information is worth that much gold?
Well, first off, who are you? Why are you here right on the heels of that other team? I don't believe in coincidences. Not in this town. Not in this place. And two, what do you know of the Betrayer's Rise?
So did you have an interaction with the other group?
There are eyes. Coin can get information.
Are we speaking in cryptograms now?
People saw a team of people come in. They're staying at the Hythenos estate. I'm kind of curious. And here you are, another group of adventurers a day later, talking about the Betrayer Rise like they were. I don't believe in coincidences. And I want to get to the bottom of it. What do you know about Ruidus and the Betrayer's Rise?
Not much. That is why I'm here to explore.
Well, I suppose if I can convince you for any information, anything you find about Betrayer's Rise, if you can manage to get an expedition in there, I could come along. I could pay you gold.
I'm not opposed to that idea. However, are you able to fend for yourself, or would you be a burden upon my group, and would we need to look after you?
And you're like looking over at her frame and like, small, wiry, elvish, nothing like standing out impressive, got the sharp features, but like everything about her is like bundled in that red vermilion cloak, and she just like smirks and laughs. She's like, I can handle myself. You don't need to worry about that.
Okay, well, I am not opposed to that idea. However, I must talk it about with my group, as I am not the leader. But I will let you know. Will you be here in the morning?
And she just says, that's cute. A leader. I suppose you're one of those adventuring parties?
Sure. If that's how you perceive us.
Perfect for my purposes.
Well, maybe you're perfect for our purposes as well.
You don't even know.
Maybe you don't even know. Ludo continues to drink.
Dumb and dumber statement. Maybe you don't know it. Just drinks his drink until she walks away.
She's just like,
Are those your robes? Both of them?
she just looks at you, puts down her beer. She's just like, maybe first impressions are right. Maybe you are all just a waste of time anyway. I'll have to find another way to get that amulet. And she just goes to stand up and walk away.
The name's Ludo, by the way.
Oh,
But you probably overheard that already.
Yes, and I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, that's okay. I told you anyway.
I mean, I can't bail any harder.
What a fucking jerk.
Oh my god, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, man. I hate talking to people like that.
No, it's great. It's great.
As that conversation goes on, Aljin's going to throw out a perception check. Just being in the big city. Damn it, I'm terrible at playing D&D. Roll a 6 on a +4. Just sort of like checking out the like as he's talking to her, checking out the bar. Like, is there anybody with a 6 that I'm like looking out? I'm like, I met someone I don't know. Time to see if there's people that I might know, but with a +6 or with a 6, probably not.
Yeah, you're kind of caught up. I will say, Saeryn, what were you doing while watching all of that?
I was subtle spelling detect magic.
So you were going to subtle spell detect magic, or you like moved it over onto her?
Not detect thoughts, detect magic.
Oh, detect magic.
Yeah, detect thoughts only lasts for 1 minute, and I figured
Gotcha.
that probably
Yeah,
ended.
perfect. Yeah,
But
so
detect
you do
magic
that
takes 10 minutes, so
while
I figured I could
she's-
get both question and the other lady.
Awesome. So I think question might have been leaving out before the because did you ritual or did you just do it as action?
I have to do it as an action so I can subtle spell.
Oh, so spell. Okay, yeah. So boom, goes up instant. On question, you do find a couple of generic items. There's like a couple like magical like bracers around like her wrist underneath her robes, like the tiefling, like that like monastic, like almost like monk like style. And she looks like actually pretty nimble as she's like walking on her feet. You notice there's like an amulet magical around her. With the one in the red cloak that you're looking at, the detect magic, there is definitely a couple items that are like hidden away in a bag. She has like a couple rings that give off a magical essence, and also they're like in her side. It's like you can't determine like too much about like the others that give off like a telltale like abjurative or whatever type illusion or whatever type signature. There's one of like the thing in her bag in her pouch that like how do you think you detect magic? Like what are you seeing and how are you detecting?
I think especially when I subtle spell it, my eyes don't glow or anything like that. But I see like faint shimmers, kind of like spirit photography.
Yeah, like a haze and aura.
Yeah, like a hazy aura around certain things, and if it's like a particularly potent rarity, then it's a much stronger glow.
And I think it's like you've been able to like there's like the different colors or like shape of glimmer that like helps you, like that's how you're able to identify the schools, you know? Like it's not like here's not runes that say this is illusion, but like the little wisps of the purple tendrils, you know, that flake around something like like little motes. That's a telltale illusion sign. You're not noticing that on her, but there's, like that like blue warding shield of obscurative on a couple of like the rings. Her cloak actually seems to be enchanted just slightly, in like almost the same way as Aljin's, just like a minor enchantment. But this pouch in her side, if all of these schools of magic have these telltale signatures and colors, you have never once in your life seen or encountered before. I think the best way to describe it is red. Vermilion. You've detected infernal, you've detected elemental, you've detected, all schools, like, you've worked in shades of company where you've like, running goods and detecting magic on, like you've seen your fair share in the past, and this is different.
Not a fan of that.
But also with that, it's the red, the vermilion cloak, and it's almost tugs at the back of your brain of that meeting again, that moment of contact that you had once had of a deal, something out of Ankarel, a new substance, something to deal with, like it was something red, like that's how you like you remember someone just like describing something as red. But you remember that meeting was with somebody who was wearing this, like, a same, almost exact same shade of a vermilion cloak.
Not sure what they're talking about, but I want it, so I'm going to have to think about that very carefully.
And she, like, actually goes to, like, pass by you. And she actually like, makes contact with you and like almost gives you like that nod, like, and she actually pauses like, I don't suppose you're useful, are you?
Do you need good luck?
I usually make my own luck. But what do you have to offer?
Right now, not much to an outsider. Currently enrolled with these chaps here. But if you give me your name, maybe we can find you. We can talk about something in the future.
Finally, a little respect. The name is Aloysia. I'll be staying here if you need to find me.
Please spell that,
Let me
please.
try Aloysia, Aloysia.
Got it.
Fuck off, Matt Mercer. Just like,
For
get
real.
over yourself. Like,
Most complicated name and
actually,
spelling.
what's it sucks though, because actually I do think is Jasmine Dular had a lot to do with writing on this module specifically, and she's one of my new favorite DMs. So I'm sorry, but also, what the fuck is that name? Like that. If you guys think it could be pronounced better or differently, that's my best attempt at it. She says, I'm looking to acquire an item.
Won't we all?
It came in city around the neck of the party from the day before. A pendant amulet, that sketch that lady was just showing you that you all reacted and knew about.
All right.
Saying I'm interested in. There's
We'll discuss
fragmented histories of a hero born in the lands of Wild Mountain, the Calamity, under the full moon of Rudis and wields the moon's power.
Sounds like a prick.
Well, marked by Rudis means powerful things, and I think that jewel is related to him. And there is a lot of money and power and interest involved around those secrets. If you all want to know more, show me that you are not a waste of time as a group, and we can talk.
Sounds good, Alicia. Cheers.
Charmed. She just goes and walks away. The worst part is I gave her a round 2, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
she's a bit.
Yeah.
I imagine behind him during this, like, show me you're not a waste of time. And you see Finian going, all right, Ludo, ready, time me, go. And he just picks up a tankard and starts chugging it. See if he can chug it. And you're like, right when you said that in my head, I'm like, and at this point, Finian's trying to chug an entire tankard of beer.
Amazing, and she just kind of and walks away and just like leaves you all be. The drow patrons of the bar come walking up. Delez, he comes up. He's like, "So you need anything else? Another round? I'm gonna keep it rolling, right?"
Yeah, I mean, until everybody else is full,
I'll say if you can do that about a third faster, you go up on the wall as the fastest chugger.
Do it.
I mean, we might need to give this a try.
Yeah.
Chet stands up a little bit, like, but the
right.
problem is I've only had soggy rice today.
All right. You have
So-
6 seconds to drink as many of these as you can. And he
Oh,
lays
damn
down a number of tankards on the bar. And he's like, anyone else joining in?
At this point, I think it needs to be Ludo and Saeryn and me also, because Ludo and Saeryn need. I think there's like a little competition between those two, and that lady just walked away. Aljin's like looking at this like they both talk to this lady. They both must be into her. Just sort of being very much a kid at this point. Like, I think I'm going to give this a try. Ludo, Saeryn, you want in competition?
I'm up for a friendly competition.
It's middle of the day, right? We're like middle of the day drunk at this point.
It's
Day
probably getting a
drinking?
little bit on, because you had the day of travel, getting into like that final push that put you past like probably midday, and then you got into the city. That combat, only lasted a few minutes, wrap around, and so it's probably like getting almost evening at this point. I'll say in this part of the area, it's like nightfall comes early.
Are we supposed to be doing anything else today? We just resting up, drinking.
Talking to the TS can.
Oh, is that supposed to be today?
Yeah, I think he's the last thing on our agenda today.
He knows we are, right? I mean, he can, if he wants to
Yes.
find us, he can find us, right?
He sent us here.
All right. Well, who wants to join this? I'm going to give it a shot.
I will give it a shot.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna need a round of Constitution saving throws, of course.
Before
Damn it.
they do these, Ludo is going to cast a bless on. Is Morgen or Saeryn? Are either of you guys joining?
No thanks. Sarah's trying
no.
to think about that thing you saw, the red aura.
Yeah, that whispers of red, that aura, like it really is like an energy you've never felt before. That It's weird to think of a sentence in the phrase of, like, something that had gravity for your eyes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you could not draw your eyes' attention away from it. It was magnetic.
Can you cast Bless on yourself?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Your target.
You
Cool.
bless up to 3 creatures.
All right.
right,
Alicia comes running back in the room and casts counter spell, and she's just like, "Nope, having fun."
Counter spell gives you the finger and runs out.
She's like, "My name is Demna. You can't have fun. Bye." No. No. Amazing. Yeah, no. Bless goes off. So yeah, everyone roll Constitution. If you do it at second level, you can get all 4 of you.
They're going to do it. I think it sounds like
Well,
there's only 2 of us that are like.
Oh, okay,
into
yeah.
this.
Yeah. There's
Okay,
only
fuck
2 of us, so
All right, fuck it. Yeah, guys, get some
just throwing it on us.
Yeah, and
Con.
what's Morgen doing during?
Fuck. Can't do
Oh,
anything.
there you
but
go. Oh,
Can't do
nice.
anything but roll to save my life. Nope. Roll for dream contest. 21.
Yep. Awesome. So while these two start chugging, Morgen, how are
And
you?
the D4.
She's doing fine.
Of course.
At this point, she's probably got her Verdant tome out, just kind of poring over the pages there, and I assume that in her head she's trying to connect these like dots mentally. Obviously, the other team that we've been kind of on the heels of this whole time is here. They are planning on taking their descent tomorrow morning. Kind of making a plan of action for herself. Like, she'll probably get down there too as quickly as possible the next day, but still not quite sure what to expect. She's just sort of preparing herself mentally for that.
At this point, you hear a little callback in your head. Hey, where you at? I'm like flying around outside. Which of these nests are you in?
Oh yes. We are over at the place I forgot the name of again.
All right, is it the one with like a lot of bird poop, or like a lot of bird poop?
Let me check. And I'll go step outside for a second. Look at the roof. A lot of bird poop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that thing's almost got a fresh coat. And he just goes and you see her little, and he adds to the pile and comes and flies and joins you. He's like, that guy is boring as shit. He just like walked around town and like talked and checked with people and like helped a bunch of injured out to like the infirmary. Wrote a bunch of paperwork. Like he went back and I just sat on his windowsill and like pecked at the flowers for like, I don't know, how long has it been?
Page of flowers for hours.
Wait, what the fuck is time?
Oh, don't worry about that. It's just a human construct anyway. Time is a weird soup. That's all you need to know.
That's... What is soup?
Yeah, come inside. We'll get you some.
Oh, okay, yeah. So soup you can eat. So you can... I'm gonna eat so much time. And
We'll give you all the time you want.
yeah. This bird's getting some weird concepts in his brain. Finn and yeah, so yeah, Jackie, and he comes in, nuzzles in, gives you a few pecks, joins you up to get some soup in, and he relays like basically Tascan just went around just doing duties, like checked in with the people, helped out, got reports, filled out a bunch of paperwork when he went back to the barracks, getting everything neat and orderly. And he, Jenkins says like, that guy, he looks, this place is rough.
Joaquin, in your opinion, do you think he is a good person?
He treats what we work in, the dead, he treats it with respect.
Thank you. That's very comforting to hear.
He's a good bird.
He's a good bird. He's a good bird.
Oh, he's a good bird.
He's a good.
Meanwhile, that snuggle happens in Aljin and Ludo. Just you guys are chugging with those D4s on top. Both of you. Aljin, I think you're like, how hard are you going?
The plan was to see what the Constitution save was. At this point, pretty hard.
Yeah, you guys are able to
things
knock back some rounds. Like I'll say, you hit the DC. Like you can get like all.
It's one of those things where he was like on edge, and then his crappy perception check was like, "Oh, I see no one I know. Excellent. Time to let loose a little bit."
Hell yeah!
Drink some beer.
Chug.
Yeah. Yeah, Ludo, you let loose as well.
Probably like Aljin's probably like 3 rounds in before he realizes that the other 2 people in the party is like not drinking. He's like, oh.
Like because you ordered a round for everyone, but you noticed the ones are sitting there, and you're just like, oh, I'll just take those.
Yeah, just start drinking theirs too. Yeah, that's sort of how that worked out. Yep.
Perfect. Ludo, you're sitting there, you're drinking, and like you're able to like let loose and most of it off your mind. You're able to allow yourself that. There is something. It's just an image of a person in a red cloak. And there's just like that weird, very heavy theme. And I think one last thing, Saeryn, while you're sitting there at this tavern up above in this area, actually, in the haze of the night, you're not really drinking. The night keeps continuing. People are nestled, rested about. You're on this upper balcony, and it's almost like through the haze of the fog and the smoke and the fire and just like the warmth and merriment that's filling the room. Do you guys see this scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it's almost like when you're looking through at this corner, like looking out at everything, it's like almost you've been here before, but like that deja vu that hasn't happened, it's just so familiar because it's you could be put that scene in any other moments of time in your life and it's that same, like
Clubs.
Yeah. But then you're sitting there and it's through that haze and the fog of the smoke and you're thinking about that red that you saw specifically tonight. And then it's almost like a quake, like you blink and you flicker. Boom, boom. And the room is empty. Everything is gone. All the people like are vanished. All the stuff is still there remaining. It's silent now. And that haze of the smoke and fog through the room. And then you blink again, rub your eyes, flicker, flicker. Shadows, it dims. And there's just a shadowy figure sitting down at the end of that table. And he comes and looks up and makes eye contact with you. And he says, "Ah, yes." And we'll end tonight's session.
Damn it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah!
Oh, man.
That was great.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I was not sure how any of that was going to go.
It's like,
But, yeah.
oh, that was fun.
Big into-town session. But then the module's like, you know what they need after a road of a bunch of encounters?
Another encounter. You know what they need? They had a lot of fights in the road. You know what they probably want something different, like a fight in the city.
Hey, you know the characters that are really looking forward to a town and civilization and safety and beds and comfort and roleplay and social. You know what they want? To fight monsters that take away all of their player agency.
We're probably there's probably more like groups like us, but there's probably more groups that are just like, you know what would be sweet after this, battle is more battles. you snuck me in there with hey, we're gonna have a nice RP session, and smacked us in the face with good encounter. It was a fun encounter though. It wasn't
It was.
It wasn't terrible. It was
it is
enjoyable.
Yeah. Also, I think it's kind of above table now. They kind of hey, check out this really fucking cool guy.
Yeah.
I'm that is the only way I can think of as an intentional design by the authors to throw that encounter with him in there.
Yeah. By the way, all your characters, all your players are paralyzed, but this dude is just going ham on these guys and just murdering things. Kind of want to go talk to him, don't you?
Well, I think it's just that cements the hey, you don't fuck around in this town.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
is what will come for you. Not me as the DM saying meta hey, don't do that, but if I was a player and I saw that encounter, I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's one of those encounters that could have been every character could have just been paralyzed, been oh crap, we're dead, and this guy saved our lives, or it could have been one of those encounters where ours, that one where it was we did damage, we did an okay job, whereas oh, you helped me out, here, you have some stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think
so that was cool.
That is the intention. It is hey, you're supposed to, I don't know. It really is I don't know. This place fucking sucks so much. And I swear, maybe one day we'll probably get into some happy stuff. You know?
I don't know. I feel it's called Call of the Netherdeep. I'm not entirely sure what the happy parts are going to be.
Right.
I have that feeling where when we get the happy stuff, it's when one of our characters is dying and they're leaving the world, and you're and you finally see the end of it. It's oh, that's the happy part, where everybody dies.
They're finally over.
Yeah. It's your struggle is, you go into the embrace of your deity, the struggle's over. You did a good job. Well, thank you. That's the happy
Actually,
part.
I mean, kind of more than you realize.
Anyway. Great.
So remember, it only takes 6 seconds to start doing better in life. I'm sticking to it.